All right, let's get it started, man. So how's it going, Billy?
Very nice.
Yeah.
Good.
And so you had went to a pretty solid game last night. It was the Panthers versus the Oilers, Stanley Cup, the Super Bowl for hockey. So how was that game last night?
Unbelievable. I had pretty good seats, so it makes it even more enjoyable. But just the atmosphere is it's a really fun thing to be a part of.
Yeah, and we were kind of talking before, you'd kind of say y'all had season tickets. Has hockey always been a thing for the family?
I recently got the season tickets about 2 years ago,
Hmm.
but I always went off and on as much as I can. It's an hour away, so it's a little bit of a drive, but my son really got involved in it. So that's when I decided to get the season tickets.
Yeah. I tried watching for a little bit. And I will if it comes on, but man, there's like so many rules like that it's kind of hard to think about. Like I'm like, okay, well he went back with the puck and like, okay, that's what's a penalty? And then like there's a bunch of crazy stuff to it. And I got really confused and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna watch it for what it is.
Yeah. No, there is a lot of rules. Yeah, you just kind of as the more you watch it, the more you understand it type of
Yeah,
deal.
for sure. And so let's get to it to kind of get where everybody knows, where are you from and have you always been from Florida?
I live in Jupiter, Florida. Originally from New Jersey, but I moved down here pretty young.
Okay.
I
What
live
brought you
in a
down?
place called what's that?
So what brought you down?
My dad hated the cold.
Fair.
Wanted a lifestyle change, I think. So he moved us down to Jupiter, Florida, and I think he originally picked Jupiter because Burt Reynolds had um, a spot in where we live, and it was like his studio or his property that he actually filmed like Smokey and the Bandit here, and
Really?
so there was a little bit of history here.
That's really cool. And so you've been there ever since, huh?
Yep. We moved down. I don't know how old you are, but I the family moved down a week after Hurricane Andrew.
Okay, so that was what,
So
92, 93,
92. Yep, September
92. Yeah.
92.
Yeah, so I was born in 98, but my dad talked about how he was in Florida and he was going through Hurricane Andrew. It was pretty crazy.
Oh yeah. So
So, you know, where you moved down from New Jersey. How old were you then?
I was in third grade, so probably 8.
So yeah, pretty young. And so, you moved down to Florida and does racing start pretty early or?
No, I guess we always were kind of NASCAR fans.
Mhm.
My driver was Ernie Irvan.
Okay.
Um, we used to race our bikes at the local elementary school. So we'd make like a track and then we'd like race.
Yeah.
So that was kind of our thing. Me and my brother and a couple friends.
Yeah, yeah, we used to do the same thing, but with scooters. We didn't do the bikes. We did the
Okay.
scooters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't have that luxury. We
Yeah.
we had the bikes, and then it's so funny. There's a which it's still there today. My son goes to the same school. My son and daughter.
Hmm.
Um, there was a big painted U.S. map of the United States, and when we went in there and it was wet, it was like a slip and slide. So
Yeah.
everyone would always eat it. It was a lot of fun growing up out here.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of getting after it.
But we
And,
always had like dirt bikes and go karts, and we had dirt roads and stuff. So it was always kind of something motorized when we moved down here.
and so, like, was there any kind of racing before you got into it? Or was it kind of just the bike stuff? Like nobody kind
Just
of
bike
did.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
just bikes and dirt bikes. We had dirt bikes and just yard carts. I knew nothing about it. I didn't even know there was such a thing of it.
really. So where does it start? Where does it start for you?
So about 1995, my dad was working. He was an electrician. Was working with a shutter guy,
Hmm.
and his son raced go karts, Dustin Chessman,
Hmm.
and told my dad about it. My dad was a NASCAR fan and was like, "Let's go check out this track, Hope Sound," which you heard about from Matthew Beeman.
Yeah.
And so it was a tight little asphalt track. And so my dad's like, "Let's all go out there and take a look." And it's so funny that the first time we go watch a race, Kevin Smith's actually racing, and he flips into the fence like
Oh,
head
geez.
first into the fence. And my mom is like freaking out. We're not doing this. This is awful. No, no, no.
I
And
mean, I think all of our stories started like that. Alex, I mean, yours was the
probably,
same way. Your mom was like, "Yeah, hell no, you're not doing this."
Yeah.
And then my mom, like the second time I go racing, it was the same thing. Uh, she sees somebody like barrel off into the fence, and she looks at my dad and was like, "I can't believe you're letting our son do this."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been doing it a long time, so I kind of know the dangers of it. But when you're young, you're just like, I'm good.
So,
Um,
so how do we
so
convince
what,
mom that it's a good idea?
my dad, I think my dad was more determined than anyone.
Hmm.
Um, so someone was selling like a 1990 straight rail Coyote with a trailer, motor, everything in it. And we were like, Dad, let's buy it. Dad, let's buy it. And he's like, I don't know, we'll see. And I remember like yesterday, come home from school and it's in the garage, and we like just flipped out, me and my brother. And we actually shared the cart at first because he's a year older than me. So he would be racing like junior sportsman two, and I was racing junior sportsman one.
Hmm.
So that was yeah, 95. I used to race that year. I raced with Jeff Choquette
Hmm.
and Tara Henderson.
Yeah,
She was like 4 or 5. Like I remember her just she had no nose on, a little tiny helmet. It was hilarious. But it was a pretty cool track. We actually raced on Sundays, which is really weird, and
really.
practice was on Saturdays. Yeah, it
Hey,
was wild.
just like the old Cup days.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. I was kind of doing some research and kind of seeing, and that was the you had posted a picture of it was like y'all, but y'all only had like number plates on the side. Was that kind of around that time?
Yep.
Yeah, that was
Yep.
about
With the
that
black
time.
nose, the old
Yep.
school black wedge nose. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's hilarious. Like seeing those pictures.
Yeah.
How things have changed so much. It's funny because like things changed a lot from 90s to 2000. And then you look at the 2000 pictures and they like look the same.
Yeah,
All the
yeah.
bodies like look the same. So,
It was like one person got the idea and was like, okay, all right, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Yeah.
yep. I mean, I remember probably like 98. I don't know if you even, I have a picture of it I can show you, but like the old school one piece bodies,
Yes. Dude, they were
I
so
had like,
heavy. They were
oh
so
yeah.
heavy, but they were so cool.
I
Shit.
remember like Christmas morning, my dad got me and my brother one, and we like flipped out. Kevin had one, so we had to have one.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, dude, you could
yeah.
run those into a brick wall and they wouldn't break. I mean, they were
Dude, I
so
think Dalton
durable.
still has like I think he still has his somewhere like up in the attic or your like top of the shop or anything. Buddy of ours, Dalton Davis, had a green one. Like whenever he and I grew up racing together, it was green. And I'm not kidding you. This thing was probably every bit of 3/8 of an inch thick.
Oh yeah.
And indoor racing, he nudged you, you felt it. It felt like the concrete wall was giving you a nudge.
Hilarious.
But
My dad
absolutely
actually used
indestructible.
to my dad used to take our carts and put the nose on the ground and like put it up on the wall,
Hmm.
and
Uh-huh.
he'd fill the front with foam.
Oh, so it's even
So
it's even more durable.
oh yeah, so when you were hitting someone, I mean like
Oh yeah,
the
it
old
was a
school
full blown
bumpers, they
train.
had the
Yeah.
bolt in it. I mean, you hit someone, it's just a bolt hole.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, my dad had this, my dad saw that idea, and then was like, "Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of this whole foam thing." So, uh, bless his heart, he thought 3 pieces of 3/4 inch plywood, custom cut to the inside of the nose, screwed and fiberglass resined in, was the new answer. And hey, it helped with nose weight, 100%.
Yeah, there was no
But
I can
problem getting
imagine.
nose weight, I'm sure.
there was no problem with nose weight, but let me tell you, you nudge somebody. Like I had to learn how to give somebody a nudge with that body because what I thought was just a simple nudge was kind of like the foam. They were moved.
Mac truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, it was definitely know what you're talking about with the foam, and then I mean you don't really see a whole lot of people do that anymore.
No, no. It's all about weight now. No one knew anything back then. I mean, I don't even think we scaled carts. I can remember we had like one set of tires. I think we were running Bridgestones, and I think they were 5 inch too. They weren't even 6 inch.
Oh
And
Lord.
like we'd literally go to the hardware store before the race and you'd fill it up with no leak or the so the tires weren't leaking. I mean, yeah, back in the 90s, no one knew anything.
I tell you this much. My dad still has that very first set of tires that he bought from Ryan Roberts. Alex,
Jeez, that's
they're up in his attic, dry rotted
Hilarious.
to hell. Some Burris 11s that are absolutely just, you look at them and they might just shatter.
Damn.
So, um, in the early days and throughout your beginnings, you've mentioned Kevin Smith, but who were some of those other influences in your early career?
Um, at Hope Sound, I mean, there was a couple people that, you know, were in the older classes that I actually still talk to. You see them around. One of them a contractor around where I live, and I just remodeled his bathroom about 6 months ago, and we were just the whole time just talking about old school racing stuff.
yeah.
Um, yeah, Paul Shrine, shout out to him. I'll send him the link when this is out. Yeah, he was there's a lot of people. I can remember I forgot his first name, something Tarantino
Hmm.
was a local around us, I think. He was involved with Phantom. I remember like the Stalker was big when when I kind of first got into it. I think that came out in what, 95?
97?
Okay.
90, I think 97. I think 96,
Okay.
97. Yeah. Um, and so, you talk about the influence a little bit, but like, you kind of started out on asphalt, right? And when did you guys venture to dirt or did y'all stay on
Yeah,
asphalt for a while?
so about 96, 97, when we kind of got friends with the Smiths. We bought their old carts
Hmm.
and they bought new carts. They were, you ever heard of a pro cart?
Pro car. I mean, it sounds familiar.
Another
I'm
pro
pretty
kart
sure I've
tour.
seen it. I'm in a bunch of like vintage groups and stuff like that. They always
Oh
post a bunch
yeah.
of stuff.
So if we knew what we knew today, we'd be well known. Like, I mean, the whole front end was fully adjustable in like 96.
Oh, geez, that's
It,
crazy.
it had it actually had a bolt that went through to change the cross was like a thread. So I
Really?
actually still have the wrench my dad had to grind down to undo the jam nut, and you unthread
So it's almost like a
the
jack
yeah.
thing in there. Yeah,
Hmm.
no, crazy. It's
And
crazy.
it
No
did caster
washers.
camber, no washers. It
That's
was
so
all Heim
crazy.
joints, and we just didn't know what the hell we were doing. I mean, who did? I remember
It's just
buying our
that's
first.
that's a bolt. Make sure that bolt's tight, don't let it
Yep,
get loose.
tighten it good. Yeah, I mean, I was a kid too, but
Yeah.
um, one thing when I was growing up, I always saw these kids playing around. My dad was like, if you're not working, you're not racing. So I was never one of those kids that was playing football or hide and seek with all the other kids. I had to work.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we got involved with Kevin and Justin Smith, and they got us the pro kart. And probably a little after that, we hooked up with there was an outfit called Sunshine Karting.
Hmm.
Um, they were out of Cocoa Beach. Um, Funny fact is Tony Sansom was actually part of that group too.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
raced with Tony way back in the day, him and his
Okay.
sister. Um, so when we hooked up with Sunshine Karting, they are the ones that convinced my dad, hey, let's take the kids to a dirt race. Um, and our first race was Jasper.
Oh,
So
wow.
we had
What a
no
track to
idea.
what a track to
Oh
go to
yeah.
for your first one.
So it's about a 5 to 6 hour drive from where I live. And the only thing I remember the race, but the only thing I really remember is like I knew nothing about dirt, but it was like nothing but bumps. So it was like like the whole straightaway was nothing but bumps everywhere. I don't know if it
Gee.
rained or what, but I just remember coming off. My hands were like I couldn't feel them.
Yeah.
Um,
Is that when Jasper still had a little bit of banking in it, like kind of banked up a little bit?
I don't remember that
Okay,
much.
because I was gonna say
Probably,
I remember hearing all these stories. I've never had anyone confirm that Jasper had a pretty decent amount of banking and they flattened it out. I didn't know if you remember.
Probably, but I don't remember. I do remember it. I remember one race when I was a kid. I was always like a mid packer, and there was some wreck that happened, and I kind of skated through it,
Hmm.
but then I wrecked afterwards, and they got like I finished second on paper. This is before transponders,
Yeah.
and then someone protested, and I ended up being like seventh or something. But like I do remember that off the if you wrecked off that turn, it was pretty steep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah. And so you go to
um,
Jasper. It's pretty bumpy.
yeah, that's all I remember though.
Oh,
That
okay.
was my first dirt race. Yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
okay. I got you. No, you're good. No, you're all good.
So after that, we started going to like taking dirt a little more seriously. I think at this time we're still running a 710 in the front too. I think we're
Really?
running Dunlops.
Not even
Yeah.
900 yet.
Oh, I don't think
Oh,
900s came out until
800.
like
Yeah. Eight. Yeah.
2000. Yeah,
The 800s. Yeah.
2010.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, we were running Dunlops too. I do remember that.
God, so like Firestones weren't even like the tire to be yet.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. And
I
then
don't think
kind
the first time I saw a Firestone was at Daytona. I didn't even
really.
know they made a car
Jeez.
tire. Yeah.
Yeah. And then kind of that time right there, it's like that 98 kind of getting into the early 2000s, kind of when chemicals started to play a part. Not many people knew about it. It was kind of like if you know, you know kind of deal.
Go to your
Um,
local print shop, get some of that yellow stuff.
So the first time I saw a chemical, I can remember we used to wipe the tire with something, and you'd put Saran wrap on it.
really,
You
to
did,
keep the
yeah.
oils in.
We
Yeah,
put the chemical and then paper towel and then Saran wrap.
that's
Why I
hilarious.
don't know, but
Yeah.
that's just what we did. I remember the first prep I saw at Daytona was Gator Grip. I don't know if it's gonna be a flashback for some people.
I've heard of that. I've used that a few times.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
You're gonna have to ask some of the oldies for that. I don't remember.
It
Is that is
I
was
was a
that is
kid.
that one of them Frank mixes way back when?
I don't remember. I just knew I was racing with this guy and he's like, "Hey, try this. This is some Gator grip." And I was like, "Wait, it's because it was really wet." And it's like, all right, we're gonna wipe it."
I
And
mean, this is probably 97, 98 at the
yeah, I mean, the stuff
municipal
could have
stadium.
been the stuff could have been expired. I mean, but we definitely used it. But so, you kind of skip ahead. You kind of said you've been a little on and off. So like, what was that process like? Why were we in and out of it?
So I raced from 95 to about 2001.
Hmm.
Once I hit high school, I kind of was doing high school stuff
Yeah.
and I kind of got tired of the racing. I got more frustrated with like how the chassis manufacturers were like we went to buy a cart and my dad's like, "Is this the newest cart?" "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." You buy a new cart and a new one came out like 2 months later and it's
Yeah.
like I didn't really like that stuff and it's just I got into probably girls and
There you go.
Girls,
yeah,
vehicles, sports, all that kind of good stuff.
yeah.
Everything a high schooler will
Started
do.
driving and I kind of wanted to just do my own thing.
Yeah.
Found out.
And so you say you got out of in 2001. When was the comeback?
All right, so probably about 2005, 2006. Our local track would have been either Hope Sound or there was a track in Fort Pierce that was always real nice.
Hmm.
Well, that shut down.
Hmm.
So I remember my brother saying, "Hey, I want to get a go kart and let's start racing again." I'm like, "You're friggin' nuts. There's nowhere to race."
Yeah.
And he kept saying it. He was graduating college, and I'm like, "Dude, don't. You're gonna waste your money." And so he got a dirt bike and played with that for a little while. And then all of a sudden he calls me up. He's like, "Dude, I bought a Prowler." I'm like, I'm like, "Why, dude?" And you guys are gonna probably laugh your ass off about this, but he had a little tiny Isuzu truck. Like, I mean, the smallest Isuzu truck you can think of.
Like the little
And
shop
like
trucks.
like a camp truck
yeah, oh
or
yeah,
something? Yeah.
it was just a little tiny pickup truck. And it was his, out of college truck. I was working with my dad, wasn't really making anything. And so he buys this cart, has a rolling cart stand and all this crap. I'm like, dude, how are you going to get to the track? This is ridiculous. And he used to just put it in the back of the truck. We'd put the cart stand on, cart on it, and all the shit in the back of the truck. And we did this at Hope Sound, or I think Hope Sound started back up. Someone fixed it up, opened it back, and we raced there for a while.
Hmm.
And then he's like, dude, I want to start racing dirt again. So then I used to drive to my girlfriend's house, now my wife, from my dad's house, and I'd see an old champ cart in the yard, and there was a little tiny open trailer. And I'm like, I was always like, had my eye on it. And I'm like, George, let's buy this trailer. No, no, no. I don't need a trailer. I'm like, dude, you really should just, it was, I mean, it was probably like a 5x8 trailer. It was like the biggest piece of crap you'd ever see. And I finally convinced him. I knocked on the door, and the guy's like, yeah, I'll take $100 for it. So we got a twister. It was a 98 twister with a flathead and the trailer. And all we cared about was the trailer. So we put the twister up for sale. And I don't know if you guys remember when they used to race the champ carts on the big tracks in Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yep.
So the guy, Mike Portman, who used to be really involved in that, bought that.
Okay.
And
Did you at least like double
so
your money?
yeah, we did. We sold it for like $200.
Hey, there we
So
go.
it was a score.
It was a good investment.
Yeah, yeah. So we're already ahead. And so we started going to some dirt races and that. And the funniest thing is, I mean, it was like Sanford and Son, dude. Like crappy truck, real crappy open trailer. I mean, it was like this is when like trailers started getting really cool too. Like everyone's got these
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
sweet trailers. I mean, we used to joke that we can drive our truck and trailer into their truck
Yeah,
or just the
into their
trailer.
into
Oh
their
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't have any money. I was just recently married, I think, and he was like just got married, and maybe he was just dating at the time, but it was just like, and I was his pit crew help. So
Oh,
I
there you
would
go.
only go to the track just the pit crew. And honestly, that was probably the most fun I ever had was just being a pit crew guy. I love working on the carts.
Yeah.
So my brother was, we ran decent at times and, struggled here and there. And so when Jimmy Sims, you guys know who he is or
No.
No,
was?
no.
So Jimmy Sims was back in the day, he started FKA, Florida Karting Association.
Okay.
Okay.
That was like the best state
Yeah, no, that
races
yeah, that
in
was like the
Florida.
premier. Yeah, yeah.
So Jimmy Sims still had FKA going. He started Box Stock Project. So
Okay.
all these clones that we're racing,
So
you can thank
okay, he
Jimmy
had
Sims,
brought
rest
in
his
the
soul.
drum clutch, the ELs, and the box stock
Oh,
clone, right? That was
The
kind of
the literal Box Stock Project, which is the yellow clones we see,
yeah.
that's because of Jimmy Sims.
take it out of the
Okay.
box,
So
put it on. That was it.
that was it, dude. So there was a local kart um, shop that was at Hope Sound, and he was like, "Hey, will you race a kart for me with a for sale sign on it?" And I thought, if it's free racing, sure, why not? So he'd have all these phenoms and um, slap a motor on it, and we'd go, right? So I remember I was doing that for a little while, and then my dad was like, "Hey, man, you have all these bonds, these U.S. bonds. What are you gonna do with them?" I'm like, "I'm buying a go kart." And my wife had no idea at the time because she thought I was just, using the other guy's stuff. And I cashed the bonds. I found a phenom. I actually gave the money to Keith Henderson, Tara's dad, and I was like, "Hey,
Hmm.
can you go pick up this cart?" Yep. And that was my first cart back. This was
Heck yeah.
probably 2009, 2010. But racing at that time was probably like my glory days.
I mean, it
I
was pretty peaked at 2000 in 2009. I mean, like that was probably some of karting's best days and toughest competition.
For sure.
Yeah,
I only raced box stock though. So this is the ELs drum clutch, like you said.
gotcha.
And I
They
mean,
still
you
had
could
good
probably
guys in
go
that
on.
too. You know,
Yeah.
What's that?
as I said, they still had tough competition in that class
Oh
too.
yeah. Well, I never traveled, but I think if I did travel, I'd give them something. at least in the early days. When the EL first came out, I remember I bought, I don't even
Too
know if
many of them?
ARC is still alive, or is ARC still around?
Yeah,
ARC Racing?
yes, I believe so. Yeah.
I forgot who the contact was who I met there, but he ended up like sanding the ELs because you couldn't cut them.
Yep.
And like I bought a set of ELs and I would use Earl Muhorter.
Hmm.
He had some EL prep and I just bought that. I could not put enough prep in those tires.
They
I
were
I had
plastic.
one set of
They
tires.
were literally
I
plastic.
I would prep the hell out of them. But come race time, like I was the only kart that would stick to the track. Everyone else is like squealing.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I would like literally just beat them by. I'd probably lap up to
Damn.
third place. And at this time, when they had the claim rule, so
Mm.
Oh, you
if
didn't
you
keep motors
win,
long. You did not keep
no,
motors long.
this is before money racing now too. No one was making money at the track.
Yeah.
I was making money at the track because I'd buy a motor for $100. I'd tear it apart, get rid of the governor, put my own stuff on it. I'd race it, and then someone would claim it for I think it was $300.
Oh, there you
I'd pay
go.
I'd pay Jimmy Sims there $100. He'd give me a motor. I'd do it again. It
Yeah.
paid for everything.
Yeah. Oh, you got
So
150, maybe 175 in a motor, and then you just make another 125 off it every time.
no, they didn't get to keep the clutch or the pipe or
Oh, okay.
the
So you had to take top plate
top
and
plate.
everything off. Okay,
Yep.
yeah. So it was just
So
blocking
I would just put all
carburetor.
the same stuff back on.
Oh,
It
okay.
was awesome.
So
It was
that's even
great.
better.
Yep.
And
So
that, boys and girls, is how the 2011 Max Daddy at Dogwood came to be with the ELs.
there you go. So
So,
yeah, I then I race. I moved up from box stock to um, probably stock medium and light.
mhm.
From then, got out of it again because I remember I wanted a big shop, and my wife's like, "If you save some money, we'll build you a shop." So I was like, "Well, if I need to save money, I got to stop
Yeah,
racing." So
there's no saving money and racing at the same. Those two
no,
words do not correlate.
yep. So I got out of it again, built my shop, then I got back into it. That's when I reconnected with my buddy Tony Sansom.
Hmm.
Um,
That's kind of where you got together with Josh and them
this was before Josh
before
started
Josh.
making carts.
Okay.
So um, I think it was probably 2014, something like
14
that.
or 15 sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, a lot in the Florida scene.
Yeah.
Um, it's pretty much all I've ever done.
Yeah. And then so you say you came back and that, you got with Tony and then that led to with Josh and then, kind of where we are now. Are you still running a little
No,
bit?
I haven't raced since 2001. I every year I go to Daytona to help Tony
Hmm.
and buddies.
2021, you mean? Or
2021. Yeah,
okay,
sorry.
yeah, I know you're good.
2021.
I was like, we just talked about 2009,
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Little
No.
dyslexic.
Yeah, no. So you say you just kind of go and help out at the racetrack now sometimes?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do now. Yeah, usually only Daytona's like my only race I go to nowadays. I try to go to others and life gets in the way.
For sure. I kind of want to talk about something really quick though. We always talk about it. And if you do have another one, this is kind of what we were able to find up though. The number 105. What's the history on that? Where'd that come from?
So originally I was 28 for Ernie Irvan,
Okay, yeah.
and then Ernie stopped racing. Then I was a Bobby Labonte fan, but I went to double zero. I remember my dad used to call me Buckshot Jones. And I was always double zero. And then all of a sudden, when I got most recently got back into racing, there was a lot of double zeros. And my buddy Darren Coker is like, "That's my number." And I'm like, "All right, it's your number." So um, uh, 105 is actually my son's birthday.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's what I triple digits is easier to keep your number. So,
Yeah. Oh, cool. That's pretty
and
cool.
I never was a fan of like the X or B's or.
Yeah, letters. Yeah,
Yeah,
I talked about that on a previous episode. I never understood them unless you had to at the racetrack. Like if somebody's got your number and you just put an X or something, I get it, but
right.
full blown number, yeah.
Hell, I think Alex and I would just like put a one.
Yeah, I would either one in the front or the back or something.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
the all right, so the big topic we were going to talk about tonight, you have an app coming out. It's either out now or coming out here shortly. Smart Kart Notes. I know we've played with it a little bit. It's really awesome. Um, where did the inspiration for that come? Like where were you like, let me put this together.
So 8 years ago, um, when I was racing with my buddy Tony and the group that we were with, like Tony would, you talk all week about the race coming up, and you're gonna talk about setups and what you're doing with tires. And I am so bad with paperwork. I lose papers. I lose binders. I just can't do it. And this is when phones were kind of everyone had them, and I just thought to myself, what if like I can save it all on the phone easily? And I was like, what if I can build an app? Um, I ended up going on a site where you can like enlist for people to do a project for you. And I actually found a guy in Pakistan
Oh,
to do it.
what?
And I would literally draw on paper, like a fake phone drawn on paper of like what I wanted it to look like, what I wanted it to do. Um, and it probably took about 6 to 8 months to
Mhm,
create. Um, and so that version's actually out on the iTunes store or the App
yeah.
Store of iPhones.
Mhm,
Um, the problem with it was when I created it and released it, that's when like cloud-based apps started getting popular.
mhm.
So the old app would save just to your phone. Well, I ended up getting a new phone at one time and all the info erased.
Oh, yeah, it's
And I
problematic.
was like, oh crap, this is not good. And I tried to get it updated and I tried and I could not find anyone. The guy that promised me my original programmer was like, yeah, yeah, well, that'll be version 2. Well, he took my money and didn't finish it.
Oh,
So it just kind of sat dormant for 8 years. I had it out there, but it was never updated. Um, it's pretty much the same app as the new one, just a little more features and cloud based and just updated versions.
nice.
The new version's actually called it's a web app, so it's actually a website, but
Mhm.
you can save it to your phone and it acts like an app.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Which
what I was able, it hasn't even like it's not like it's a little Safari shortcut. It has its
correct?
own symbol and like words
Yep,
underneath it. Yeah.
yep. And when you go to close it, it's its own app. I was kind of against it when I met my new programmer and he kind of talked me into it and I saw it and I was like, wow, this is great because dealing with the app store is awful. They
Is it?
take a lot of money. There's a lot of demands. At least with this, it's like I can control
You
more
kind of govern it a
and
little
do
bit
more.
more. Yeah.
Yes, yep. And then I don't know if a lot of people know Apple and Android apps are written totally different. So you got to pay twice to have the same thing. So
So
with
kind of
this, it's you can use it on anything. Webs You can use it on your phone, you can use it on laptops, tablets, whatever you got.
yeah. And kind of speaking of that first version, I know me and Colin had talked about it last episode was he was like I was kind of telling him about it whenever we had been talking. I was like, "Hey man, we gotta check this out." Like, he's on the asphalt side of things, dirt. He's like, "I already had this app downloaded." And
That's awesome.
yeah, and I was like, he's like, I tried this out. Like, yeah, it's good. I like it. There's a couple tweaks, but like I was like, no, 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 there's a better one coming. Like I just gotta send you the link really fast. But it was funny that he had already had it downloaded.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
When he had shown me the app, I was like, wait a minute, that looks familiar. And I started
That's
digging through my
awesome.
phone, and there it was. So
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So that one was through the App Store, right? And
Yes.
that's when you figured out
yeah,
everything was a problem.
It was probably a couple years later. Like with apps, you got to constantly like update things, kind of
Hmm.
like software is constantly getting updated. I didn't have that ability. So sat for 8 years, and I would ask everyone, can you build anyone that built websites? Do you know anyone? I finally found a guy that came close to helping me. He's like, let's get a new logo. And I tried to get a new logo, and that was a disaster. And then that kind of sat again. And so I know you're going to talk about this a little later, but one of my other hobbies is Christmas lighting.
Yeah.
And my a good buddy of mine who I'm in a chat with and we talk every day. He builds websites and he's helped me with my electrical website and emails and all that. And I'm like, Tom, do you know anyone that can build an app? And he's like, yeah, me, dude. And I'm like, seriously? And this is literally 3 months ago, 3 or 4 months ago. And I'm like, you can for real? He's like, yep, no problem. So we had a big Christmas lighting event that he was attending to. And after that, he's like, all right, let's get to work. And it's been a really exciting couple months.
Yeah, for sure. It seems like it's been really cool because, um, it has to be exciting. I've like I said, I play with it a ton, and I kind of want to go over some features, kind of give everybody some insight on it. So if you kind of want to talk about like what you can do with it.
Sure. So the idea is when I created it, it was more for myself.
Hmm.
So I had like the driver, you'd have yourself, and then you can set what tracks you go to, and then you can set your races you go to, and you can keep your setup notes, weight numbers or scaling numbers, caster, camber settings, all that stuff, and it would be saved in that race. So if you're, summertime going back to Jasper, okay,
Hmm.
what did I run last year?
Hmm.
That's kind of the idea I had. Then I took um, the idea of the tires, and I was like, why don't I have a little tire database? So basically, every tire you run, you could put it in there, and every wipe you do at the track, you would import your tire at that race, and then you can wipe it with whatever, and then you can go back and see, where did I race that tire? What did I wipe it with? At this track, this race, what did I use in the feature? I remember being fast in it.
Hmm.
So that was the original idea, and we've really modified it to be a lot easier and way more information
Yeah.
with the new version.
Something I thought was really cool is like you have the go-kart outline, and like you could put your percentages in there. It's not like you have to go in your notes and be
Yeah,
like cross left this. It's literally like a setup sheet, and all you have to do is input like your left side, your cross, your nose, all that other stuff, and it's very well organized and it's very easy. And you just click on the race and it goes straight to everything. You can see, like you said, your driver. You could put temperature. You could put the kind of surface. Really cool. And also it does have those really helpful like tips. You have those tips in there about
yeah. So that was
adjustments.
something I've always wanted. The biggest thing I wanted to add was a gear chart.
Hmm.
Like no one owns a gear chart anymore, unless you
Yeah.
got one of those Larry Jones, $80 gear charts that are engraved, laser engraved. Um, it's just, why aren't they on your phone? Everyone has a phone, especially nowadays. They're probably racing with it in their pocket. It's always on
Yeah.
you. So I'm trying to make it easier for, you know, from, pros, I guess you'd call them,
Hmm.
the good racers down to the newbies.
Yeah.
So that's another thing I added was, you got a lot of newbies and even, people that still race. They don't even know what washer to put on the top or the bottom to, raise or lower cross. So I
Okay.
have stupid things on there for
Time
that,
out. I've been doing this for 20 years and I still got to look up which does what. Okay, so let's just be clear there. I forget all the time. So
Well, now it's right
they're
on
not
the home
alone.
screen or the dashboard of the app.
Yeah.
So I think it's called what is
Chassis
it
setup
called?
guide.
There you go.
Yeah.
Chassis setup guide. Yeah. And I tried to put a little bit of old school setup where, like, if your cart's tight going in, what do you do? Let's change the cross a little bit. Let's add a little
Yeah.
more left weight, or reduce left.
Yeah, it's the
Go
scenario
back to
sheet
the
you have
basics a
is
little
really
bit.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And I plan on adding more to it. Um, I'm really big in feedback. So if people have like, hey man, you really should add this option, um, you know, we'll add it if people are going to use it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super cool because like I think like the biggest thing in karting, in any kind of racing is having that notebook. And you have made it to the point of now it's so accessible. There's no like, oh, I forgot my notebook at the house. You're not forgetting your phone. You're not going to forget your phone
No,
at all.
definitely not.
And so, if you have it right there on your phone, you can hurry up, pull it out, see what's going on. Or if you're in the shop, you just go in there, type everything in. Like it's so easy and it's so convenient. I think it's a really awesome step in the direction for our sport.
Another scenario is a good buddy of mine, uh, Garrett Pick,
Mhm.
and his dad Jason. They lost their trailer coming home. They were like
Yeah, they
5 minutes
did.
from their house, and if your stuff was in there, it wouldn't have got his notebook got burnt up.
Hmm.
So it's just another scenario of like maybe you start thinking of the new technology. My saying I always kind of wanted to do was like ditch the notebook type of
Yeah.
thing. Um, you're always going to have your old school guys that want the notebook. They need the notebook, and that's great. But I think there's a lot of features that we can start adding with this. I feel like the more input you put in, the more it will help you later, type
Hmm.
of deal. I mean, who knows where we can go with AI?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
Maybe
kind of like the more you feed it, the better it gets for you, you know?
100%. Yeah, because
Yeah.
my idea is like you can have temperatures of racetracks with, you know, you compile all the scenarios of every track you've been to. What should I do? What prep works best? What, tire should I use? When I was racing, we didn't have the tire rotation it's got now. I mean,
Yeah. It's kind of insane.
I think it's kind of out of hand, but it's needed, and that's where my little team of testers, Matthew Beeman being a huge one. He's like,
Mhm.
you should add this. Literally, we're working because he works for me.
Yeah.
Um, we're working. He's like, you should add this. I'm like, oh shit, that's a great idea. You should add this, and that's now you can see the how many week old the tire is.
Yeah.
You can do rolling re-rolls of the tire. Um, Matthew's been a huge help with this whole thing.
Yeah. It's really cool. And so are we live? Is it live?
It's been live. I haven't
Mhm.
really done much
Mhm.
until I was waiting for the interview.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for
So
sure. Yeah, yeah. So, it's gonna be like a little sign up thing where you just sign up kind of, or what's the deal with it?
So there's a free trial where you get, I think it's one driver, um, four tires and like two tracks or something. You could
Mhm.
try it out. Try it out for free. If you like it, I think um, I don't know how much it is per. You could pay monthly or outright. I think it's. Let me look at this real quick. It's on the main page. Thought it was. All right. Yeah, it's 6.99 a month, or you can outright, pay for the year for I think it's 49 a month.
It's not bad. Cool.
Um, yeah. And we're looking at expanding to a pro version,
Hmm.
where we're gonna have I've been trying to work with Race Monitor or My Race Pass
Oh, that'd
about
be slick, man.
that's in the future. I need to that's gonna take a lot of funding to do. But
Yeah.
that's my idea. I want to make it where everything's all kind of in one spot where you can kind of save everything you need.
Yeah. Because I know right now you can kind of go into those apps, then take that and put it in there for your race, where you
Yes,
finished, your best lap, average lap, kind of stuff like that. Um, but to integrate that, man, that'd be awesome. Or like kind of like working with them to have it on that app to where you just go to it or you can just pull the information automatically. Like,
that's yeah. We're working on it. Race Monitor has actually been really awesome to work with.
hmm.
So I think that's the first one we're gonna try to make work best. But yeah, we had to kind of fund the project first.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure.
So we're
Yeah.
gonna do this release, and if people like it and start using it, and you want to go to the pro version, we'll have like you know a a small fee to upgrade, and I have a lot of good ideas for it, but it just takes funding and time and money, lots of
Yeah,
money.
for sure. And if you don't want to let any secrets out, it's fine. But we kind of wanted to talk about goals for the app. You kind of spoke on a couple of them there. Um, what are some other ones for it?
Um, my goal is everyone use it, of
Yeah, yeah,
course.
yeah, 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 for sure, for sure, for sure.
So I'm just trying to make an easier way for people to, improve their racing experience. Um, I always thought it was a good idea. That's why I never shelved the project.
Hmm.
Honestly, I'm surprised no one else came out with it.
That's what I
Um,
was thinking, man. And
yeah,
you had kind of put something out there to kind of get either an idea started for someone else,
yep.
and
I'm
it's
surprised.
it
I'm really
sat there, and then
surprised.
you're back at it, and it's like, all right, I'm the
Yeah.
only dog.
My biggest thing right now is my developer Tom is a beast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna straight up say he's a badass.
Hmm.
I think he sees the potential in it too. Um, that's the only way I've been able to do this again.
Yeah.
So yeah, we want to add the lap timing um, results, make it a lot easier that way, and I want to move into dirt car racing or late model racing
Be
or,
slick.
other types of oval racing. There's a lot of apps for road course racing, but maybe I go into road course racing. I don't know. I don't know a lot about that stuff,
Yeah.
but obviously it's been a goal or a dream of mine for a long time
Mhm.
to get this going. I think it's a good idea. Um, the biggest thing is trying to get feedback from people.
Yeah. And
I think
and
I've had about 30 no 20 something testers and I have to like pry for info. I'm like, please, what do you think?
yeah.
What else needs to change? And it's just quiet. I'm like, and that's when my developers like, listen, we release it and when people are paying for it, they're gonna want answers.
Yeah. That's
So,
it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing. I guess if you don't hear anything back, it's like, well, maybe
right.
it's not bad.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, I remember whenever we had initially first started talking, Billy, and I had sent it out to the guys, and we had all played with it. I think it was the Blueberry. I think it was the weekend before the
yeah,
Blueberry
Blueberry
blowout.
Boat. I kind of yeah, I texting you about it, asking some questions on some things, and figured it out. And I was like, man, this is awesome.
I know Billy, like you and I had talked about, but and I guess to some of our closest friends that know my dad, um, this app has taken my dad's four sets of binders and put them on your phone. It is absolutely badass. I know Corey Cedars, I sent you some of the data sheets that my dad used and my dad built. Go to this app. I mean, everybody, like man, what's his name? Smith, Micron, drawing
Oh,
a blank
David,
here.
David.
David Smith,
Dave
like
Smith.
David said,
Yep.
Yeah,
driven by data. I mean, if this is to take the next step with your program, you gotta get on this app. It is the premier app for tracking and performance driven success.
It's the only app for go-kart racing, like
Yeah.
oval racing. There's nothing else. I can't believe it, but I've actually been in talk with Dave also
hmm
about trying to work together. I think it'd be great. You can do maybe more with that, but we'll see how that goes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just I guess it's another way to make us a little bit more sophisticated, a little less redneck. We got some technology working with us, and I think it's cool, man. I think it's gonna do very well because like you said, it's no matter if you've been doing this for 40 years or 4 days, you can use it. It's easy to access and it's very simple. Once you kind of get the grasp of it, figure it out,
Yep.
very, very simple and very, very helpful.
And I will say, I think one of my recommendations is, like Billy says, to try it out. Um, one morning on a Saturday or Sunday morning when you're not racing or whatever, just go in there and make a mock race day or make a mock race week of, hey, here's the tires, here's the setup, here's this, here's that, and just play around with it before here we go. All right, we're going to use it for racing, just where you're a little bit more comfortable with it. whenever it comes time to actually using it. And then that first experience with it, that first true experience with it, you really get the grasp of seeing how beneficial it is.
Yeah.
Sure. Another thing you can do is, Tony actually was a really big part of, helping me design this thing as far as like what info we should be keeping even 8 years ago. And he never used it.
Really?
So finally I was like, dude, I need help with this. And he's like, all right. And I mean, he's got notebooks. So he's taken his notebook stuff and started putting it in.
Yeah.
And if you're not comfortable at the race using it, use your old school notebook way, or just remember and then add it in. And I know that's what like Matthew Beeman's been doing. He
Yeah.
just at first he was remembering, oh yeah, this is what I did. This is what I this set of tires. Because we'd be driving to a job. He's like, yeah, that's right. And let me put this set of tires in. But now, like I talked to Tony and Matthew, and they're like, it's so easy to use at the track.
Yeah.
So uh, go a little bit into it. When you import a set of tires at a race, you have that set of tires. You're going to go out for a tire session or a race session. You click on it, you can go out for a practice, a qualifier, a heat, or a race. And what are you wiping with it? How many wipes? What's your air pressure? What's your stagger? And when you save that, later on, you go to your tire inventory, or I call it your tire rack now. It's all your info's there. You don't have to remember what did I wipe this with. I know with the Burris racing, Tony said it's been super helpful.
Hmm.
I guess they do things a lot different in Florida. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's and again, anyone has any ideas or you do things a little differently. I mean, we can add that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure you could put your time on those tires on that session. And where how'd you do?
There's a spot for notes.
Yeah, okay, that's okay, yeah,
Um,
that's what it is. Yeah.
you could put any type of notes, for that tire session. I've always tried to keep it where, someone wants to add something to that, that session or that race, you can always add like notes. But
Yeah.
as far as timing right now, we just have like a spot where you could put in your laps or
Yeah,
anyone
yeah,
else's laps. You know what how fast was the track that weekend.
yeah. Hmm.
Because that's important to know.
Because I know it helps me out a ton when I'm in the shop, and I had used it when I went to Battle Creek a couple weeks or last weekend, and I was in the shop wiping, and sometimes it's hard to keep track of how many wipes you do. So I just open my phone up, go to that set of tires, I just mark them one. You can do one, two, three, and then you just this set one, set two, whatever you want to mark your stuff as, and then I just like Monday wiped them twice, Tuesday wiped them once, you just go in there and you add it in there. All you gotta do is look up. It's like, okay, all right, wiped them that many times. We're good. It
Yeah.
makes it very simple. It makes it very easy so you don't forget.
So I guess we can go a little bit out of order here. Um, for those of our listeners that are anxious to try the app, and whether they they think of things that they'd like to see, and or they have questions or anything, um tech support, is that on the app, or is that like an email of, hey, I have this comment, and you send it off, and you get it? Like, how does that work for our listeners?
So you can reach me Facebook, Messenger. Um, Smart Kart Notes is my page. I'm not big on Twitter or any of the other ones, but really in the app, there's a feedback spot
Okay.
where you can, any questions, feedback, you can reach it there, or my email, billy@smartkartnotes.com.
Hmm.
Um, it's it's me and Tom and a couple other people kind of helping. So you're gonna probably talk to me if you have a question.
Oh yeah. I think that, that's one of the things that, um I don't want to say can set you apart, because you're already so many steps ahead of everyone else with the creation of the app. But I think that aspect of, hey, you're talking to the guy that built it. You're talking to the guy that's making the changes. I think that's going to help your brand. I think that's going to help those guys that are trying it out, and if they have issues or have comments, they just have that peace of mind knowing that, hey, you're talking to the guy.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. And that's one thing about the karting community, kind of. It's like I remember when I was racing on Firehawks. I mean, when you called, you were talking to Bradley Jones.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it's one thing that's kind of cool about a lot of the karting
Yeah.
companies.
Yeah. And we might just be dirt karting, but it's cool to talk to the guy who's actually doing it, like, you know,
Sure.
you just want to talk to that guy. So it's cool.
So yeah, any ideas people got, shoot them over. You got questions. I still get questions from the old app. I'm going to keep it up for probably about 6 months. I can't update it.
Mhm.
I mean, people that have the old app and want to transfer it over, um, you're going to have to manually put things in. Unfortunately, I've tried everything to make it easy, but it's just not feasible.
Mhm.
It's just so outdated. And so if anyone does have the old app, you can reach me. I can, give you a coupon code to access the old app again so you don't have to pay twice. That was my biggest thing about doing this because I didn't want to kind of screw people.
Mhm.
I knew
It's kind
people
of out of
used
your
it, so
hands,
I
unfortunately.
unfortunately the way technology. I mean, now the way it is now, like I said, I have way more control of things, but like I can see how many people use it, the Apple app,
Mhm.
but I can't message them. I can't be like, hey, I see you use this, download the new app. I
Yeah.
can't even like put a banner on there saying, hey, download the new app. I'm trying to, but yeah, unfortunately, probably within 6 months that will be gone. I don't
Yeah,
want to
just so
deal
it
with
doesn't
Apple anymore, unfortunately.
pull any more traffic to it, get them brought to the wrong one.
Sure, 100%,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, I hope no one goes to the Apple store to
Yeah.
to download it. Please don't.
The link will be in the post. Make sure you click that link.
Do not go to the App Store.
Yeah.
Because a lot of testers that I try to get to give me feedback, they're like, "Oh yeah, I downloaded it. It doesn't have this." I'm like, "You have the old app. You
Yeah.
get rid of that and download the new one." And yeah.
Ethan,
So,
I didn't know if you
oh,
were coming in with something else. I don't know. My bad.
no, I
Nope.
mean,
Sorry.
Yeah.
um, I think, so I know it's live, but you were waiting on the episode, to drop the interview. Is there anything special that you have planned for the episode dropping with the app coming out?
So the only thing special is, I mean, you guys are the first to announce it. I haven't done anything. I was really excited that you guys kind of wanted to interview me and meet and talk about it because um, I just wanted to get out to the most people as possible. When I did it 8 years ago, um, thank God I had Troy Duncan. He is amazing. I went up to him at the Maxis National and I was like, dude, I got this idea. I'm coming out with it. And he's like, I can help you out. And I didn't have a lot of money. Troy helped me out tremendously. I remember I sponsored the Thanksgiving Thunder in 2007, and
Mhm.
I think I was the Fast Time Awards or something. And I mean, he gave me sponsorship parking. I mean, I was parked right next to Jamie Knopf and right on the like trackside.
Yeah.
And he just went above and beyond and helped me as much as he can. Um, Unfortunately, the app didn't later, like we talked about. I couldn't do things like that, but um, yeah, want as many people to know about as possible. I am going to offer a 25% off for all podcast listeners with a special coupon code, uh, 4TF.
Yeah.
So that'll be posted too. You guys can do that. But no, I was really thankful and excited to hear that you guys wanted to kind of help me out and work with me.
Yeah, man. That's what we're about. We're literally trying to push the sport to be better, and anybody who's gonna have a good cause on it, like we are completely 100% behind. And man, I'm thrilled to see what can happen. It's because you always want to see, like, we always talk about, we want people to take us more seriously and stuff like that. And with something like this, it's you know in a way for me, it feels like we can be taken more serious. Like we have a data log of things, and it's a very professional app, and I just I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
I think, Billy, whenever you and I had like first started texting back and forth about it on the podcast page, and you had sent it to me, and I had gotten one of the logins just to go and test it and play around in it. Um, all the guys were in the group chat going, "My God, like, what's it like? What's it do? This, that, and the
Send
other."
the
I was
link,
like,
man. Send us the
I was
link.
like, I was like, so I'm like, hey, I made this a login. You guys have all seen all of the sheets that my dad used to keep. Take all those, make them 10 times better, and put them on your phone. And they were like, okay, where's the link? And I
Love it.
think we had what? I think there was all five of us were playing in it at the same time that Friday night,
Yeah.
just playing around and getting the feel for it. And yeah, I mean, here we are. I think whether you're week one, just bought a cart, ready to go hit a racetrack, or you're Chance and David, you're going on year 20, 25 in the sport. There's something in this app for everyone.
Sure.
Yeah. And
Another thing to kind of touch too. I'm actually using it right now. I wanted to kind of talk about a couple things. I cannot see anybody's data. I can't see anything. I
oh
can't.
man, you can't
I
send us
didn't.
some good notes or something?
Nope. No. That was when I was rebuilding this thing. I said, Tom, this stuff is the most valuable data people can have if they're into racing. So I cannot have hacking. I cannot have, you know, I didn't even personally, even though I'm not racing anymore, I don't want to see anybody's stuff. I can't see nothing.
So
Um,
you mean to tell me I can't get the setup that the 811 had at Paradise last weekend?
well, Matt's not even going to use it. I think Matt's too old school. I tried talking to him when it kind of came out. He came down to Dirt Devils, and I was like, "Hey, man, I got this app," and he's like, "I use a flip phone." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
That is so fair. Yeah, that's so fair. Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, as far as like your login, it's got two-step authorization.
Mhm.
So anytime you want to log in, it's going to send you a text. I'm sure everybody kind of has those nowadays. It gives you a little six-digit pin, sends, text it to you, and you have to have that to log in. So if you ever get that, and you're not doing it, someone's trying to kind of get into your stuff. So trying to make this the most secure and safe thing for the racer, because this is valuable stuff,
Oh,
man. People don't
it's
want. You might
Yeah, I
be
mean,
best friends with something, but they're or with someone else, but they're not telling you the truth. You all know that.
it's like messing with somebody's gold stockpile, You don't want
yeah, I
nobody
mean, like
touching it.
this is like number two or like 1B
Yeah.
of importance behind a racer's bank account information.
Yep,
Like,
yep, for sure.
from my dad's years of offshore powerboat racing as a crew chief, NHRA as a crew chief, ARCA as an analysis and everything. Um, my racing, he took these binders with us into he took them out of the trailer into the hotel room like it was briefcases
Yeah.
of like top secret stuff. I'm like, dude, it's a binder. Of course, I'm young, I don't get it. He's like,
Yep,
one day you're gonna understand, just not when you're 12.
Yeah.
for sure. I can't agree with that more.
All right, so we are going to go into kind of like a demo, kind of what it looks like. Our Spotify, or if you're audio listening, you can go to our YouTube page and watch this. Our YouTube watchers and listeners, look at it. Let's check it out together. So Billy's going to give us a little demonstration on how the app works.
All right, so this is your dashboard. So this will show like all your main stuff, and on your dashboard you can click on your races on the top, the tracks. The orange button is your next race. So, say you have a race coming up and you're entering a lot of data, you can just click on the orange button. It goes right there.
Hmm.
The compare, you can compare, I think, setup sheets and stuff, but I want to work on that a little more to maybe comparing more detailed stuff. And this is your tire rack. for the tires. Um, your quick actions, you can real quickly add a race, go to your tire rack, or add a new tire set if you're, you know, mounting a bunch of tires and you want to put them in your rack. This shows how many drivers you have. So if you got your dad with, you know, kids, or a dad and a kid, or in the future we want to do kind of like teams where
Yeah.
maybe you can have like, you know, you drive for someone but you can see some stuff. That'll be in the pro version. Um, it shows your tracks, and this shows how many races. The racing reference tools will show you your gear chart. So we'll click on that right now, and this will show that the top's your driver and the bottom is your gear. Um, on the phone, I think it's a little easier. I'm on a computer. I don't know how to use it on the computer.
And can't you click on
But
one? It'll give you the like left and right. Like
yep.
say,
So
yeah.
you can click on your, I tried to make it easy. You click on the sprocket size and you can, oh man, 1665. Okay, 4.19.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even know how to use these things. I mean, this is old school stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll close that. Our chassis setup. You click on this, and this is the page where we talked about where it gives you kind of here's your little page right here, Alex.
Hmm.
How to move
Yeah.
your washers. So you know move your washers up, down, on which side.
It's been so helpful.
Again, this is a little stupid stuff that you don't want to be embarrassed and ask your buddy that you've asked 500 times already.
Yeah.
Right here. I tried to make this real easy. I kind of stole some info from things I saw online. My brother was a big help with this though. And Tony. Little scenarios. Cart is tight. Enter in the corner. Let's add cross. Decrease stagger. Increase caster. I mean, that's old school stuff. A lot of people just wipe with something else, but maybe you want to know that. Maybe that's more asphalt stuff too.
Hmm.
You know, coming from asphalt racing, you do a little more part setup wise.
Yeah.
Right, chassis.
Yep. And then this is the your recent races. So, you know, if you want to see a past race quickly, you don't want to go through the menus. Just down here.
Yeah.
The tire rack is probably the most complicated, and I think it's the coolest part. Um, you have your current tire rack, or I was going to call this a dumpster, where you throw tires out,
Yeah.
but I thought archives is probably best. I really wanted like a trash can, but then I thought you throw it in the dumpster, it's garbage. So,
Yeah.
but archive tires will be tires that you're not using anymore, but you know, you want to race on it and you want to know what you did with that tire, you know, 20 years from now, let's say, if it's still around, it'll still be there. So the idea is just being able to know all that data from old sets.
Yeah. And
So
yeah, I was about to say, yeah, I was liked how you could click each one and it had like it were separated by the tire brand. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So right up here, you can sort it by the age. Um, you know, 20, this was a Matthew Beeman thing right here, where it says 26 weeks since last roll. That, I mean, he's like, you should do that. Well, that's a great idea. I didn't think of it. Um, you can re-roll tires. It shows you right here what it is. I prepped it with Daytona mix.
This
And
is such a huge update. This is so
oh yeah,
nice.
yep. So um, you can sort it by brand. Um, Maxxis, all the manufacturers were really awesome. I did not want to get in trouble. Can I
Yeah.
use your logo? The only one I didn't hear from was Reaper. I tried multiple times. So if you want to call me, let me know, please. Um, but everyone was so super nice and supportive. Even like Burris was like, please let us know. We'll send it to our customers to it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. Um, so let's dive in with this is my fake account, my Billy Freeman account, just so I like my demo account.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know who Billy Freeman is.
I
No,
mean, I'm pretty sure, but
some of your racers will probably know. You ever watched Righteous Gemstones?
oh, Baby Billy? Oh,
Baby
Baby
Billy.
Billy. Oh yeah, I know who
This
Baby
is my
Billy
little
is.
inside joke with some
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, Baby Billy. Tell me why you do it.
Yeah. So Here's my
We we
little
we have a
yep.
different baby. It's not baby Billy. It's baby Hootie, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
I like it. So for demo purposes, I have some info here. We'll click on this Reaper set. Um, this is the usage history. This is where, I went out in qualifying with this tire. I used this air pressure. Um, what did I wipe it with? I didn't put anything on here on this one, but here you go. In Pro Stock Super Heavy. Oh, let's go back. Pro Stock Super Heavy, I wiped Acrosol 4 times with it. I ran this air pressure and this stagger.
Mhm.
Simple. I mean, stuff that you can just access so much quicker than trying to remember or grabbing that notebook, or it'll show you down here. How many times did I use that tire? How many tracks did I use it at? I mean, this will be really great for, local racers that, don't have a lot of set of tires. You're constantly using the same set. Um, just try to make it simple and easy. You can add re-rolls. Um, this is an example of I want to re-roll with the previous settings. It's all right there. It says it's a re-roll, what date. This was kind of cool. You can do either CCs or ounces. I was
Ounces,
always a
yeah.
CC guy.
Yeah.
Um, it kind of converts it, but then it messes it up a little bit, but it gets you close. Um, and here's your little cart icon that you were talking about,
Hmm.
Alex. And then you can add any notes you want. Um, what else? A lot of people, when I was first doing it, I was getting a lot of info from Hunter Mallory. And he's like, I do the date code, line number, and the mold number of the tire. Okay, I'll add it. Whatever. Anyone else wants to do something else? This was a Matthew Beeman option. Is it full rubber? Is it cut or is it sanded?
There you go.
You could, yeah, you want to do a compound, what compound it was. Yeah, I just tried to do as much info as possible. Everyone, saves different things though. Not everyone does the same thing.
Yeah.
And
Some
more
people
than
do
one way to
more, some people
skin a
do
cat.
less. Yeah.
Yep. I just wanted it simple for myself. I really just wanted numbers and what am I rolling a tire with? But a
Yeah.
lot's changed since then. Um, so let's add a new set though. We'll play with it. So adding a new set for demo purposes, I'm just doing Reaper 3 and I'm going to add Reaper brand. If you have another new tire, you can request, an update. I will be on it. I didn't even know AJC was making tires.
Yeah.
And I was actually at a hockey game with Matthew. I took him to a playoff game and he's like, oh crap, AJC makes tires. I was like, oh shit. And I just did it on my phone right then and there. So I'll be up and try to be up and up on all the tire things going on. But so we're gonna add a set of Reapers. It's a cut set. What date did we scuff it? We scuffed it last Saturday. We're not gonna do any of that stuff.
Your
And this
24
is
date code.
yeah, right. You don't have to save it yet. You can add your internal prep on it now. So you can click on this little check mark and all right, what are you prepping it with? For easy sake, I'm just going to use Acrosol. Would you roll it with? We'll do 50, 100. Your tab and your arrow button on your phone is your best friend right here. You can easily, on the keyboard, on the top left, usually there's a arrow. You can just click, 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 click. It
Hmm.
makes it a lot easier. Any notes, and then it saves. So your tire set was saved, and it's right here.
Yeah.
0 weeks old. Just try to make it as easy as possible, but it's pretty complicated. It does a lot of things on this one little page. It's pretty proud
Which,
of thinking of it.
yeah. Yeah, it's awesome though because you don't necessarily have to use them all or you can use them all. Like
Sure.
you can
Yep.
keep the
Here's all the
same
options.
notes.
Use what you want.
Yeah, yeah, it's like a buffet. It's like it's all there for you, but it has everything you need, but you don't have to use it all. You can get what you want with it.
Yeah, I thought of trying to like hide some of it, where if you don't use this, you can click in settings to hide it. Maybe
Mhm.
that's a future option because it gets to be a lot. We can go to a race, and I'll show you.
Yeah,
There's,
yeah. I was gonna say that's the next thing.
rake and other things that people use, but then I mean, I never did. So,
Mhm.
um, but again, you just skip over it maybe. I try to do as much as possible for people.
Yeah.
Let's go to a race and demo this. So, um, let's go back to the dashboard, and I'm just going to show you. This is your drivers. So we'll go back to the dashboard. All your tracks will be listed here. I'm a Florida
Mhm.
guy again. This is all my Florida tracks. They're all going away too. Everyone wants to
Man,
build houses instead.
Yeah.
you're up in my neck of the woods in Fruitland, huh?
Uh,
A little
I'm
bit.
3 hours south of
Jupiter.
Fruitland.
Yeah, I'm it's about an hour 35 from where I'm at.
Yeah, that's always been my favorite track, Fruitland. Love it. Quick story. I used to race with Fane Skinner. You know who that is?
No.
You ever hear the name?
I
He
hear
was
the
like a
name. I don't
badass,
know him.
badass back in the day.
Yeah.
Um, when we were using drum clutches, I think he had like one of the first jammer clutches, and I
Really.
qualified second. And I was like, oh man, I got this guy. And he was gone. I was like, holy crap, what the hell just happened? Yeah,
Here,
pretty
there,
funny.
and gone.
I just remember that was at Fruitland.
Yeah.
Um,
Looks like a fun
so yeah,
racetrack for sure.
oh yeah. All right, so let's go to your races. This will show your races, right? So
Mhm.
let's go for testing purposes. Let's go to Daytona. Everybody loves Daytona, right?
Yeah.
Can that even like be classified as dirt?
It's
I'm
limestone.
shaking my head if you can't tell. I'm not a
Yeah.
fan of Daytona.
Race
I
on
I love
limestone.
I love the atmosphere, and I love the racing, how it's like multiple days. They rip everybody off. I maybe I shouldn't even say this, but I have a lot of things wrong with Daytona. It's awful. Awful. But I always have a good time because I hang out with my buddies up there. I don't
There
race
you
anymore,
go.
so
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say you're not on the racetrack anymore. You're just out there for a good time.
right. So this is where, you want to enter. You know what? Let's do a new race so I can kind of show people how to do this. So let's do a new race. We're gonna name it Pro Weekend One, just for a demo. Uh let's say we're racing on the 21st at, let's go to Jasper.
Perfect. We are
You
racing
enter
that
your
day.
date.
We are actually
Yeah.
racing that day over there.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Hilarious. Perfect. So
Temperature, hell's front porch.
Just in
temperature.
front of
That's right. Sunny.
Matt.
Was it sunny? Was it
Mm,
like cloudy? Was it nasty? Was it cold? All this kind of info you can like remember now.
hmm
We're gonna say it's probably 150 degrees outside because it's gonna
Hell's front
be
porch.
Not a cloud in the
sunny
sky. Not a cloud.
with chance of rain because you know that too.
Yeah, sunny with 4 o'clock downpour.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's not as bad as where I live. I mean, we're
Yeah, you get
getting the
it.
rain
You
every
get it.
weekend
What?
now.
Yeah, you get it. What about 2 hours after I do? Whenever it comes across from the
We get a
Gulf.
lot off of the Lake Okeechobee. I mean,
Okay.
everybody sees Florida with that big ass lake. I mean, we get a lot off that.
Yeah.
So here's our race weekend. All right. And if you mess up, here's the problem with the old app. You couldn't edit anything.
Really?
You typoed something wrong. I mean, it was that forever. And it was something that bothered me for all the time. Just little stupid things that have made it just so much nicer. So here's your setup sheets. Your tire sessions will be right here. And here's the race times.
hmm
This will be an improvement constantly as I'm still working on it, how to do it. Um, There, it'll say right here, auto import feature coming in the future. Just letting people know. So we're gonna do a setup sheet, and this is pretty cool because I'm gonna show you something. 1 second. Oh wait, I'm not good with the with numbers. This was another reason why I made this app. I am awful with numbers. Numbers was never my thing. People will tell me, "Oh, run, this left, this blah blah blah," and I'm like, oh, "Okay." And I get to my trailer, I'm like, "What was it again?" I couldn't remember it. I just
Yeah.
couldn't. So let's create a setup sheet, and I'm a bigger guy. I'm a stock heavy guy or a super heavy guy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Here's your driver. If you have multiple drivers, it'd be right here. Who you scaling your kid, you scaling yourself. Um, this part was pretty cool. Um,
This is what
you
I was
can
talking about
either
earlier right here. Yeah, this was my
you can
one of
your
my
if your
favorite.
scales are broken, you can. I actually I think Darren Coker I heard was at the track and his scales were broke. And my friend Tony goes, dude, you can use Billy Zap to friggin' just enter each wheel weight in. It'll do the math for you.
Yeah.
So you can either enter the wheel weights in, or you can just do the percentages. You don't want to enter wheel weights in, fine. But let's do a little example. I have it right here. An example of someone scaling numbers they secretly shared with me. You won't know for where though. Seven. Boom. So you got your 390 weight, your nose weight, left weight, and your cross weight. Scales broken. You want to go back to bathroom scales? You're racing in 1990. I remember using bathroom scales.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of a little stupid, helpful thing. When I was racing, just recently, people started talking about nose weight. I don't know. I never got the memo. I'm like, when did we start doing nose? How do you figure out nose? Oh, it's just 100 minus whatever the rear I've always used. It was always LCR for me, left cross rear.
Hmm.
Easy. Oh, nose. Like everyone went to nose. I don't know what happened. You want to go old school to the rear number? Just click this little button right here. Goes to
Yeah.
either one. So, little helpful tool there. Caster settings. You can either do decimals or fractions. That was a kind of a hard thing to do for the developer. Um, let's do our normal, what is it, 8 and 16, 8 and 12,
I got 8 and 11, 8 and 12. Yeah.
11. Ooh, okay. Hey, you know what? Let's set up a go-kart here.
Yeah.
You
You front
use the
back
back
hole.
positions,
I'm pretty sure.
back or front?
Man, I don't remember. I have
I
never
thought it
messed
was
with
always off the
whatever.
fronts.
However they come.
I
I'm
was
pretty
always
sure then.
front.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're in the front. So however the go-kart
Front,
came,
yeah. Uh,
go point
Camber, what are you
five,
running for camber?
point 0.5 on the
Huh?
left.
Point 0.5? You want to use point 0.5 or you want to do a nice little decimal right there?
There we go.
I
And
know my
then
decimals. Some people don't.
yeah, and then
Five
we'll
eighths,
do 2.5, 2 3/4.
2 3/4. I like a little more camber.
And I'm straight
Toe,
up on the toes. I'm straight up.
straight up totally.
Yeah.
All right. Makes it easy. What
What?
toe gauge you use?
Yeah. Now you got me.
The
I don't need. I
Akito.
just Akito. I just opened. I now that you question me, I don't even remember. I just opened this stuff up and use it. Pretty sure it's Akito though.
Dude,
Yeah, because it
Proline
was
will
mine
change
for
your
the
life.
longest time.
Really?
A Proline will change. When that came out, it blew my mind. Oh yeah, you do toe and camber at the same time. You don't have to move a gauge. Come on.
Yeah.
I think the
So
new ones do it.
I have
I
mine set
remember
up.
the old school.
Yeah, mine's set up to where I can put the camber gauge on there, put the mirror to the camber gauge, and then run the toe at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gotcha. And then you want to start off air pressure.
five and
What are you running
six.
for air? 5 and 6. It's tried and true. Again, your tab right here is so much easier than
Hmm.
this. Click this, that.
Yeah.
So use it. Um, Rake again. I don't use rake. Maybe some people do. I
Alex got that bitch skewed.
No,
yeah,
it's just
right.
straight up
Starting staggers.
inch and a half all around.
That's
Yeah.
kind of tried and true. And what are you running where you go?
Probably inch and a half again.
Inch and a
Yeah.
quarter,
Inch. Yeah.
inch and a half.
We got a little bull ring at the house,
All right, okay,
Hmm.
I like it. And then you can do your gear settings. This was always my thing too. Tony, what gear do I need to use? I can never remember.
Yeah.
What are you running? You
We'll
a low
probably
gear guy
do
or high
like
gear
a
guy?
1255 or 56.
All right. I can remember probably in like 2012 or 13 buying a 12 when it was
Yeah.
not popular. And me and my brother were trying to test at Hope Sound like super small gears, thinking, man, maybe this is what we need to do. I guess we were right.
Yeah. The mini gears came into play.
Yep. So yeah, all your setups right here. It's ready for you when you know, how did I run in that race? What did I set up? I tried to make it super easy for people.
Yeah.
Um, we're gonna add a set of tires now to our race. What do you guys use when you race?
Pretty much, we're a lot of Reaper down here, but when I go race elsewhere, it's a lot of Maxes. But
Okay,
I,
so
I do
let's
I
import
do
a
my
set of.
Reapers. Yeah, I do Reapers.
Okay, so you want to search naming a tire. That's controversial. You want to name it the week number. You want to name it whatever. That's how you want to name it. Everybody's got a different
I was about
way
to
of
say
doing
that's
it.
just like that. It's everyone's got a different way. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. So I really recommend maybe a date or um, a week number or something. So because if you're going to have a lot of info in here, it's going to get really cluttered.
Hmm.
But we're going to go to our Maxis one here, and here it is here. So your Maxis one tire, you're going to go out for a session, or say you didn't mean to do that. You can delete it right here too, right? Couldn't do that before. So let's add a session, and we're going to go out for practice with our big boy class. How many times are we wiping?
Wipe them twice.
Two wipes? What are we using?
I don't this
Black sand, black sand
black
and
sand,
Black
Akrosol
black
sand.
sand aerosol.
with a little splash of medium. Well,
There you go. What
Essentially
do we
pressures. The
air
tried and
pressure five
true.
and
Yeah.
six?
Yep.
Stagger. We're gonna do 1.5 since what did I do there? Oh boy. I'm using a keyboard. I don't know how to use the keyboard. It's my wife's keyboard. All right, let's try this again. Two wipes. I'm gonna
BSNA. Yeah, there
that's
you go.
right. We're gonna make it a little easier. That didn't work right. BSA. I don't know why it's doing that. All right. Oh boy.
We got us
Fun
a left
fact.
front on there.
Fun fact, when I was racing ELs at first, probably why I was so fast, I was running like 18 pounds of air.
Jeez, you had some roll speed out the ass.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't think a lot of people knew that. And when the new ELs came out, I sucked
Jeez.
because I tried high air and it didn't work. Um, we're gonna do 1.5 this time instead. All right, save it. Boom. So that's our practice. Now, do you guys do heat racing there or qualifying?
Qualifying.
All right, let's do the same thing. How many wipes for the race or the qualifying?
We'll go
Maybe
three
three.
times. Yeah.
All right, let's do straight up black sand. Let's go up on air pressure a little bit. All right, same stagger. Save. And this is where, again, the more details you put in, the more helpful it'll be. I mean, do you need to know all of this stuff? Maybe not at some tracks, but some tracks I know you have to keep track with every wipe you do.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or I mean it's kind of it's very helpful because like you will go up on air pressure to air pressures you probably never thought you'd go to. So you can go back and look and like for stock super heavy and then you can do a pro super heavy and be like, all right, this is you can
yep,
go on your phone, look, all right, we qualified ninth in stock super heavy. I went up 2 pounds all the way around in pro super heavy and we qualified third. Or I
yep.
did an extra wipe on that set of tires, you know? Like you can really look back and see.
Or let's do this. Let's go with our feature race in pro super heavy. Uh,
We wiped
we're
straight
gonna
goat
put.
because the dew came in, you know.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. It's friggin' 3:30 in the morning right now. You know, what time was it?
The dew is raining.
We're gonna capitalize it too. I don't know why
Yeah,
that's doing that. I'm gonna have to talk to Tom about that. And we went down on air.
yeah.
Let's do 3.5.
3.5, 4.5. We had to drop her down.
So yeah, this is where you put in your time. You know, like you go back to that track. What did I do? It was a super late night. Blah blah blah. Man, it's all at your fingertips. That's what I try to do
Yeah,
for people here. I just
and
want to make it easy for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. And kind of from personal experience is something I have done. Just getting used to knowing that this is even available. I still do have a notebook, but what I'll do is at the race day, I'll write everything down. And then on Sunday, when I'm kind of reflecting, write everything down. And then, okay, look at all this, put it all in. That way it's like, the double verification of logging in. I double verified and have double clouds of information. One that's always going to be on my phone, one that's going to be on my book. Um, so if that's even a good system for people to kind of start integrating into it, I think it would be a good way to do it. Because there's something about getting that pen and that paper. It is a certain feel to it. But this just keeps your information super safe and super locked in.
Yep. Yeah, that's the idea. I mean, you still want to use a notebook, go ahead. Maybe this isn't for you. I don't know. I had to try it though. I
Yeah.
something in my heart and my gut just said like, do it. And I kept
Yeah.
telling my wife, I want to throw more money at this, and she's like, she was supportive.
Yeah.
So I'm shout out to my wife for putting up with my crap.
Yeah, for sure. I'm kind of I've so did it the past couple of races, been writing things down, then moving it to the app, and so I'm kind of starting to get a little bit more thought of like, okay, I'm at the racetrack, put this, kind of like what Matthew was talking about. Like it was write it down, put it in, write it down, put it in.
Right.
But now I'm
Yep.
trying to get to that, that routine of uh just straight to it, because
That was
it's
my
not
idea
going
when I
in.
did it.
Yeah.
I don't know how I thought of this tire sessions part, but all I can think of, like, that's why if I go back here, that was one reason why I had like just an up and down click, because I'm like, maybe you're like, how many wipes am I going to do? Okay, up, up, up. Okay, that's it. That's all I need. Um, I just tried to make it super easy to remember everything I did.
For sure. It's awesome. I love it. I'm excited. I've been using it a lot more. I think it's gonna be great.
Excited to hear that. Was there anything else I wanted to say? I think we pretty much covered all the basics. The compare stuff, I don't really. My app guy put that in there, and he's like, "Oh, people are going to use it." I'm like, "All right, Tom." It's like some of the stuff like he really wanted. Like the in the tire section, the if you go to add a new the compound, he was so dead set. You have to have the compound, and then he wants people to add their own tire. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, like you don't understand. This type of racing is like so specific. Like
Yeah. Because like if you
it
think about it, like Burris has the 11, the 22, and the 33, the 44, and the 55. And then, Maxis has the white, and then they have the pinks
sure.
and
So you could
blues.
put that in there,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. That's kind of, I guess
Um,
that's where the helpfulness comes in for that. I could see that being useful, with Reaper, and then Vega has the blue and the well, I guess is
Yellow,
it blue and white or
blue and yellow and
what do they
white.
call them? Yeah. And then the yellow, and then Reaper just has the red, whites, and blues, but
Right.
that's a very helpful piece right there.
Yeah, true. But he was like, I don't know if you could see, he had MG. You know what MGs are?
I think Colton races those in asphalt.
Yeah, they're road racing
Yeah,
tires.
yeah,
They're 5 inch.
yeah.
So I mean, I'm like, Tom, you don't need that. He's like, no, no, no. What you're not thinking large, because he really does believe this. And just a little fun fact, not really a fun fact, but like he almost died 2 years ago. He was in like a
Oh wow.
coma.
Wow.
Um, and like we didn't think he was gonna live. And he almost lost his house. He lost a lot of clients because he was in a coma for so long.
Hmm.
And when he said he can do this, and he like hit this out of the park like Aaron Judge. It I'm really excited that if this takes off, like it's income I can give him, even though
Hmm.
I like he's just a developer. Like I really want this to be more of a partnership because I do want to grow it.
Yeah,
Um, because it's going to help him now, which I'm excited about.
for sure.
So I take his advice because he's thinking large scale too. He's like, well,
Yeah.
what about the road racers? I'm like, dude, you have to rewrite this whole freaking thing.
He's like, I got time. I got
Well,
it.
no, and he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, dude, we do stuff different than road racers do, you know?
Very
Um,
different.
oh yeah. And say if I go into the cars, I another fun fact. I'm really good friends. I wouldn't say really good friends, but I'm buddies with Clay Harris's dad.
Okay, yeah, y'all are both
Kenny.
from Jupiter,
He
or
lives
yeah,
right down like right around the corner from me.
yeah.
Well, I'd say maybe a couple miles from me. I was Matthew was at his house the other day doing some electrical work. I texted Clay and I'm like, dude, would this be helpful for cars? And he's like, yeah. And I was like,
Well, think about their
I
shocks and everything like that, for those
100%.
races,
Yeah.
And
And
some people
Antley's
like to
now
break
working
the
for
rules of
The Smiths.
okay,
And I guess his guy is like 100% old school. I
yeah.
want a notebook. But maybe you got another guy I want to talk to, Thomas Tatum.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh, he's doing go-karts and cars. I
yeah,
mean, and when I have the pro account, I want to have it where you're paying a little more, but you have both.
yeah. This thing is kind of really endless. It really is
100%.
because
I
just
know.
it's a database for your racing.
Yep. When I originally did it, my dad was still alive, and he owned the company, and I was the worker. I'm like, Dad, if this takes off, I got to go off and go to racetracks. So and he's like, all right. Well, it didn't really happen like I thought, but I mean, I only charged 9.99 a year for the last app, and I didn't get a lot of whole lot of people.
Really.
So, and I was really surprised for as much as it did.
Hmm.
But and that's one reason why I kept asking everyone, like, is it too much money? I when you're paying $200 for a set of tires, at least once a month, I don't think $50 is too much. But
No, no, not at all.
you know how some of these people are, though.
It's uh, it's kind of comical when it comes to that, honestly.
All right, so I think I can. So this is just to let you know, this is the page you get whenever you need to start deleting some stuff.
Okay. So, all right. So we just went through that demo. I know you guys, if you're listening to it, you're able to hear. Check out the YouTube video if you're not already watching on YouTube, so you can see this whole demo, get exploring through it. You get a taste of what it is, and then you can get your hands on it when the episode drops. So we got this rapid fire segment. It's 5 questions. You answer it, and let's get into it. Favorite sport other than racing and hockey?
Baseball.
Baseball. College or MLB?
10U travel. My son plays.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So,
Yeah,
and that's one reason why I kind of stopped racing is because I was a coach for a long time. So
yeah,
now I'm just, help out. I clean the fields when it needs it and just help the team out. But that's his passion
yeah.
right
And,
now. I
and
tried to
baseball.
get him into racing. My son, he was really into it. And when my dad died 4 years ago, I inherited an electrical business
Mhm.
and had a lot going on. And I know this is supposed to be rapid fire. I'm sorry,
No, you're good.
but he was doing really well at Hope Sound Racing, and I had no more time. I had to stop. So baseball's his thing, though.
Yeah, and shoot, you better watch some of them baseball tournaments and get more rowdy than a Saturday night race at a racetrack.
Dude, people are like, baseball's so expensive. I'm like, you
Go
have no
racing.
idea.
Go
Yeah,
go
right.
racing. Favorite driver of any aspect of racing?
Oh man, current or old?
You could pick.
Current, I'd say Kyle, but Kyle Larson.
Hmm.
Um, Old, either Ernie Irvin or Bobby Labonte.
Hey, I like it.
Those are my guys.
Favorite vacation spot?
His backyard.
Mm. There's a batting cage in the backyard.
Oh, I'm at the beach.
um,
At the
Favorite location spot. Honestly, you know what my new one is? We went to Stone Mountain and Thanksgiving,
okay.
and we had such a good time. I'm like, this is my new thing. We went with a really good friend of mine.
Hmm.
We rented a big ass camper, and I just had a blast. So we're going again.
Sweet. Awesome. Favorite food?
Either chicken parm or pizza.
Okay, a little Italian in it, huh?
Yes,
And then favorite color?
red.
Red. Cool.
That's it.
Yeah, 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 it's
Cool. That
five. Yeah.
wasn't too bad.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah.
sorry, working on something else here. All right. Well, I think one of them is pretty obvious here, but Billy, what are hobbies that you enjoy away from the racetrack?
Um, Hobbies. Okay, so my business keeps me really busy, but my son's baseball keeps me really busy. I'm at a field probably 4 times a week.
Hmm.
Um,
Between
it's a
practice and
lot.
tournaments and stuff.
Practice and
Yeah.
games, and yeah,
Yeah.
we're actually going to Key West. I leave Thursday
Oh wow.
for a tournament down there in Key West. So
That'll be a
um
cool little trip
yeah,
though.
yep. Hockey, obviously a Panthers fan and go to games, but me and my wife actually just started the adult learn to play. So I'm actually like on the ice,
Oh,
which is pretty
sweet.
fun.
It's kind of like a
Yep.
little adult league.
I always played like roller hockey growing up. Never ice. I was always a decent skater, but not stopping on ice. So I'm working on it, but
Hmm.
it's a lot of fun. It's good exercise too.
Yeah, funny story. The last time I've been on ice, and I think it was this first and last time, I went to the Galleria in Houston, and I was on it for about 3.5 seconds, and my head put a hole in the ice. So I've never been back because I just slipped and fell backwards. So
Damn.
we just kind of stay off the ice.
A hole in the ice
Dude, it was bad.
at the
It was,
gallery. Bro,
yeah,
there's
it's so bad.
concrete under that.
Dude, I don't know what to tell you. It was chipped. I'm telling you, I got a hard head.
Shout out to my
Jesus.
buddy Ralphie that just recently did that too.
Dude, it hurt. I was not the same for a couple days.
You
Yeah, I
probably were
guess not.
concussed. Oh yeah. I was playing hockey for my buddy's bachelor party probably 3 months ago. And I mean, I had a helmet on playing, but I fell back and it hit hard. I couldn't imagine not wearing the helmet. So I
Yeah.
feel you. Last one is music. I play saxophone.
Oh,
I've
cool.
played since '93.
Hmm.
I was in third grade, fourth grade. Um, I still play today. I'm in a local community band that just meets
Sweet.
every Wednesday during school time.
Hmm.
So we're on summer break now, but yeah, I've done that for a long ass time.
That's cool. All right, so we know that, Matthew Beeman works for you. We've had him on here twice. Is there any funny stories that you like to share about what you guys had go on?
um, so I've known Matthew since he was a little kid racing at Hope Sound, and it was kind of funny because I had to get a motor to caps, and I knew he was still racing, or he was going to a race, and I wasn't. And I was like, "Hey, Matthew, can I drop a motor off to you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm at work." And I mean, I thought he was still in high school, and I'm like, "Where the hell do you work?" Like Publix. I'm like, my dad just died. I was starting to get busy and a little more. I kept saying, I need to hire someone, need to hire someone. I'm like, you want a real job? Like joking around. And he's like, you hiring? I was like, sure. Um, I think it'll be 4 years this year, dude. He is such a good, I call him a kid.
Mhm.
I mean, he's so dependable. My company's Dependable Electric, funny enough. He is gonna be so successful. I'm shouting out that he's so determined to learn. He's just such a hard worker. He's got a lot to learn. I
Mhm.
mean, this trade is not easy, but you can see he wants to learn in it, and he's just so determined to be the best he can.
Yeah.
And I have in my little notes here, I can see why he's such a good racer. He just puts the work in, and he does the same for work as he does with racing, and he just combines them. Um, Probably the funniest story is he was pretty green working for me. He's probably a couple months in, and I'm like, Matthew, go in this attic, and you're gonna fish this wire. And in my mind, things are easy. And I'm trying to tell a kid, I think he was 18 at the time, how to do it, and he fell right through the attic, and the his leg
Oh
stuck through in the attic
Oh
oh
and in
shit.
a
gosh.
garage, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, you got to be
Well,
kidding
well,
me. And
there's a drywall patch. There's some paint.
he felt
There's
so
some tape.
bad. To his, benefit, it was an older house where they used nails instead of screws, and I mean, you barely touched it, and it just boom.
Mm.
And he felt real bad, and it was a quick learning experience where I was like, dude, you have to make sure you know where you're stepping. And um, he fixed it. I showed him how to fix it. We did the work. he came back and painted it. I had my good buddy Kenny Harris with Done Right Construction fix it.
Hmm.
Shout out to Kenny and Clay. Um, but yeah, that's probably the funniest. I do. Huh, I we have a really good time working together. It's like, when you have that relationship at work with your buddies. I mean,
Hmm.
it's almost like we're just playing all day.
Yeah.
Um, I try to scare him a lot. I have a lot. I have a lot of funny videos of him getting freaked out. If you're ever at the track, you want to see him, just ask. He's gonna hate me for that. But he's gotten better though. Like it's really hard to scare him now. But I
He's
have a
probably gotten
couple.
so used to it now, but you can
Oh
catch him.
yeah, yeah.
You got to get
I
creative.
mean, and I have a couple funny electrician friends that, I mean, if you don't work in a trade, you don't get how hard you are with each other.
Hmm.
I mean, he's got a nickname I'm not going to say, but my one electrician buddy, that's all he says. He's like, "Hey, yo, this." And Matthew just goes with it. He had a hard hat. We put it on there. Though he's going to he's already finished 2 years of schooling, apprentice
Hmm.
school. I mean, he's a good kid, dude. He really is going to go far in life. He's called out work for sick like once or twice in 4 years. I remember he was racing at um, what's the track in Jacksonville?
Jacksonville.
Callahan.
Oh, Callahan.
Callahan. He's
Yeah.
racing at Callahan. He hits the fence and gets a fucking concussion. And he knew, so anytime that he has a race, I'm like, dude, you have off. Like, what other boss is going to do that?
Yeah.
Almost all Fridays, he's like, "Did I lose you?"
No, you're good. You
No,
got it.
you're good.
Oh, okay, because I think my earpod's going.
Uh,
It hits you with the brrr.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, we
So
we can still hear you fine.
so I told him, I'm like, dude, I have a service change. You cannot miss on Monday. And he's like, all right, yeah, I'll be there. And so he got concussed, and he's at the hospital, like, half hopped up on crap
Mm.
that they gave him. And he's like, I got to get out of here. I have a service change on Monday. Like, what other kid like cares about work on the
Yeah.
weekend when, they're out racing? He's just such a good kid.
Yeah, for
He's,
sure.
I'm so lucky to have him.
For sure.
So I lost my AirPod thing. Oh, well, I'll grab it later. All right.
All right, so it's you now, Colton. Let me there we go. Now it should be fixed for you, Colton.
Excuse me.
All right. So the Christmas lights. Ethan had kind of talked about how down there where y'all are, they're pretty big, pretty competitive. So like, are you in that with them? Like Ethan was kind of saying the Fort Lauderdale area kind of gets really big with the Christmas lights. So what's that for you?
So I'm not competitive with it. I just do it for the community. Um, I
Who
have a
was that on
pretty
your
big,
Facebook then?
huh?
I said, who was that on your Facebook then? Like that's got like it had like the candy cane spinning light on the front door.
If it was on my Facebook, it was probably my house.
Oh, that's not competitive.
No, I don't compete. No,
What
it's
the?
just for the community, man. So being in that hobby, I mean, you want to talk about how kart racers are, like how how you guys are close. Um, I met a lot of good friends. Obviously, Tom Stallings one of them. Through this hobby.
Hmm.
Um, I don't do it for a competitive thing. I just do it to help the community. I
So it
usually
legit is
take
a competition.
Oh yeah, dog.
it. It can be, but
Okay.
I don't
Oh,
do
okay.
it for
Okay. I
that.
was about to say I didn't know. Like I've never heard of competitive
So
Christmas
there's
lights.
there's an actual show called the Great Christmas Light Fight that a
Oh,
lot of
okay.
people go on. Tom actually went on it right before um, he got sick, but
That's like the
um,
ones where they do like the synced up music and stuff
oh
Yeah,
like
to
yeah,
the
that.
that's
radio.
Oh,
what my
Yeah,
okay.
house does.
Oh,
My
okay.
house
Cool.
does that.
Oh, that's
dude,
awesome.
like Tampa, like you'll see boats in the bay, and like I'm talking, you're talking hundreds of hours worth of install for
Oh yeah,
Christmas lights on these boats.
yeah. So come November, which I've wanted to go. The World 100 is one of my favorite races at Jasper. I can never go because I'm doing Christmas lights. I'm setting up for Christmas lights.
Oh man, you got to get out there
Yeah,
one, because Matthew's going to end up winning it one of these years, and you got to be there
I'm going this year. I'm determined. I'm go
after
even
the
though
Kimball. You got to go.
I'm going. I'm
Yeah.
going. I'm definitely going. Yeah, it probably takes a good month to put up my Christmas lights.
A month.
Aha.
Yeah. I have a 35-foot tree with that has I think about 7 or 8 thousand lights in it.
Cool.
I use I think 10 computers throughout the whole yard, and I think
So
total I have about 50,000 lights.
What's the electric bill light on this?
Nothing. They're
no, because
all
Oh,
yeah,
the
the
LED.
LED, yeah.
LEDs. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So
Okay.
Yeah,
my question is, do you have like a storage unit just for
I
your
ha
Christmas lights?
you remember that big garage I built? It went full with that, and then I have a couple sheds.
I gotcha. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's cool.
My
it's fun.
I always love like going right around and seeing people's houses when they do that kind of stuff and just sitting there and watching it. It's cool. I mean, it might be creepy for people, but I'm gonna sit there and watch it in front of your house. So,
Oh, for sure. And that's why I do it. You can come and I have speakers, or you can listen to it in your car with a radio station. Um, I'm an electrician and I play music, so I always love the two, and I love Christmas, so that's
yeah.
kind of why I got into it. When I first did it, it really blew my mind how it works. It's the technology is just absolutely amazing. Um, but I just do it for the community, and it's a good advertising for my electrical business for the community. Like I
Hmm.
actually don't even leave where I live. Like 90% of my work is in the area where I live, which is
Hmm.
great
Yeah,
because
that's awesome.
I don't want to drive. So people call me from, a couple towns over. I'm like, I don't even leave Jupiter, dude. I'm sorry. Um, but every year I collect money for a fundraiser, to try to help the community out. And then I have one night where I do like a hot chocolate night. So
Hmm.
I have a dirt road in front of my house. I shut the road down and kids are running around, and I have Santa come and all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
That's
It's
hell
a
yeah.
good
cool.
time.
That's cool.
I
Like
give
little
out
hay
like
rides and
probably
stuff.
I don't do hay rides, but I give out like 7 gallons of hot chocolate
That's
Holy
awesome.
and a
shit.
bunch of candy canes. Yeah.
That's cool.
And
My
Matthew's there working the whole entire day.
my wife would go crazy. She said her favorite time of the year is the fall. So from October, she said the saddest day of the year for her is January 1st because that's when all the holidays are over and all that time's over. So she would go crazy with that. That's awesome.
Well, we'll talk after, and I'll give you the little insight of where you are. I'll find some shows for you to look at.
That'd be awesome. That'd be cool.
Hell,
Yeah,
I'm
man.
gonna probably be having to bring mine down to where you're at because
Shoot.
hold on. No bullshit here. November 1st, the crap comes out the attic. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna I'm gonna go do my thing. Here's the tree, do what you want. I don't fight it.
Yep.
I'm like, if this is what makes you happy, having the Christmas tree up starting on November 1st and it stays up
Enjoy
till
it.
Yeah.
whatever. I don't care. But
Yep.
yeah, so I'll have to if I'm going down to job sites down by you, down in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, I'll have to get her to tag along and we'll make
Swing
the
off.
trip up to see you.
I can give you all the insights in Florida too. There's a lot of people that do the same thing. So the biggest thing on my show that's pretty cool is those like spotlights that like
Yeah.
Hmm.
you see in the sky. I have 4 of those on top of my roof,
Cool.
and they go with the music, and you can actually see them by the highway, which is probably 5 miles away
Dude, that's so
Oh,
cool. That is
on a
so
fuck.
good
cool.
night. Well,
Yeah.
Florida has a lot of dew, in
Yeah.
the air. It's so
So it
humid,
reflects
and
off.
yeah, they look really good in Florida. So
That's awesome.
my wife is very patient with me.
I mean,
For
it's
sure.
also whenever it's cold in Florida, as you know. I know you guys probably typically stay, if I had to guess, probably 10 to 12 degrees hotter than what I am down here.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I guess that's whenever you guys have the most hockey feeling weather, kind of like us.
Yep, yep.
Um, so
I just bought tickets for the Winter Classic
oh yeah, in Tampa.
because
Yeah, make
no,
that.
there's one in Tampa and
Oh,
there's
there's one
one
in
in
Tampa. Yeah,
Miami,
yeah, there is
Yeah,
one. Yeah,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
one in
and
Make
I
Miami.
the
already
winner. Make the.
know. I'm gonna be wearing my sweater, my Panthers jersey, and it's gonna be hot as hell. I already know it.
They're gonna need
You're
so
gonna be
many
wearing the
chillers. There are gonna be
Oh
so
yeah,
many chillers.
you're gonna be
yeah,
wearing the Panthers jersey and shorts.
yeah. No, for sure.
So, yeah, I think I remember you and I had talked about it, and I was like, looking through your Facebook, I was like, holy shit! Like, this is one thing to say like, oh, I'm into Christmas light. It's a whole nother thing to like, you're part of like the competition. You could pass on the competition stuff on TV.
Nah, nah. I'm very modest. Nah. I mean, some people. A good friend of mine who's also in the chat with my developer,
Uh-huh.
Dave. He actually won that show 2 years ago.
That's
Holy
awesome.
shit!
Yeah.
That's cool.
He lives in Palm City, which is just by kind of by Matthew.
That's
Yeah, he won,
insane.
but
That's
yeah,
in-
I'm not for that.
Yeah,
I'm
oh
not
my
into the
goodness.
just for the fun
competition.
of it. Yeah.
I just do it for fun and the love for it, and seeing the kids. My kids are 6 and 10. When I started doing it, I mean, my son was even younger, and they love it. So it's always at the school. Oh, you're the Christmas light guy. Yep, that's me. So the kids love bragging. Oh, my friends are coming tonight to see it, and it's just fun. A lot
Yeah,
of fun for the kids.
it's awesome. Because that's
Well,
Getting a
that's what
little
it's
old to be
about.
on the roof, though.
I mean,
Don't want
that's
to
what Matthew's
national
for.
lampoon it. Do not, no, do
Oh
not.
no, dude, it's I have a metal roof too, and it's just getting worse and worse.
Jeez.
So we'll see how long I can do it.
Yeah, for
That's what
sure.
Matthew's for.
Uh,
I mean,
remember that nickname I told you about? He's not really good with heights.
listen. I mean, it's not like he can really go complain to an HR department.
It's funny you say that because a lot of people say it's a good thing there's no HR department with how I am sometimes. I'm sure he's laughing
Uh,
right now.
That's funny.
well, I guess the biggest news of the episode, aside from the app, is the fact that uh, we're super grateful to be partnering with you guys, and look forward to seeing what the future holds, and see how we can help further push the development and push the outreach of the app, and see the outreach, and see all the great things that come from it.
Yeah, man. I was, like I said from the beginning, just super thankful that you guys were so supportive and, being testers and hearing that feedback, and um really thankful for this platform you have, because I know, Ethan, I was telling you on the phone, like, I feel like, Bob's Four Cycle was the thing back in the day.
Mhm.
Now
Yeah,
it's like it's so scattered on Facebook or whatever site. And
yeah,
it's good that you have something that someone can listen to while they're driving,
Yeah.
or, they're listening to what they love, and, you're giving them that entertainment. It Like my app, I'm trying to reach a missing link in it. You're doing the same thing. And
Yeah.
it's awesome. I was really excited to hear that you guys wanted to, you know, work with me, and very grateful for that.
Yes. Well, we're very grateful for the opportunity, and we are excited to go along with it and be along part of the ride and help push the boat in the same direction.
Love it.
Yep. So,
The finish line.
yep.
yep.
Well, we're always going to move the finish line back and back to keep pushing towards it. So,
Yep, that's for sure.
um, so we ask these questions to everyone. It's two questions. With you being in the sport for so long, seeing it change so much, and still being a big part of it, especially with the app coming in and Matthew and stuff. You know, what is something that you like about the sport?
I love the friends you gain.
Hmm.
Um, some of the best times I've had has been at the racetrack. You just have that sense of humor. You get this click, and it's a second family. It's just such a good time, just getting away and sometimes doing the stupidest stuff. Some of the stories I could tell you about Daytona, maybe I could share afterwards. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Shout out to Josh Antley. I've had so much fun at Daytona, just being so dumb, especially when you don't have to race. because you don't
Oh,
care.
when you're not racing and you're just helping someone, as long as you get the tires washed, go-kart to the grid, and the tires bolted on and back
Yep,
to the trailer, everything else doesn't matter.
that's right. But yeah, man, like friendships forever. I mean, I still talk to I don't know if you guys know Joey Collins.
Mm-mm, no.
I mean,
Mm-mm.
he was a complete badass probably 15 years ago or 20 years ago. He was the cart to beat everywhere. Great guy. You keep in touch with all these people throughout
Yeah.
the years. Another thing I like about it is, I mean, the family memories you have, especially when you're younger.
Hmm.
Um, my dad's not around anymore, but some of the best memories I have are going racing. Me, my brother, and my dad going racing. And it's kind of like what I'm doing with baseball with my son. You can't beat it. It's just you're always going to have those memories of family and
Yeah.
friends. So
And
that and most of the people you deal with at the track are the nicest people. I
oh
mean,
yeah.
you obviously get some of those people where maybe not so great, but most everyone you can just talk to and and shoot the shit and make jokes, and a lot of people have the same sense of humor. It's great.
For sure. It's awesome. It's such a crazy world, you know. You meet some people that you would have, if you think about it, like if you never would have done this sport, you never would have met some of your lifelong friends that you can count
100%.
on, you know. It's crazy
Yep,
what one decision, can change your whole life.
you're right.
It's awesome.
So on the other end of that, what is something you'd like to see change about the sport?
I know a lot of people are going to hate me over this. This was something when I saw this question, I was like, I answered it pretty quickly. Being an old school racer, money racing killed the sport. I I
Yeah,
I get it. It's really cool to win. I mean, Matthew just won $2,200 over the weekend. It's
Yeah.
great. I see it. I know when we were racing way back when, there was no money races. I remember there was a select few, but now it's like every race is a money race, and
And
it's
that
like
yeah.
and unfortunately that's the only way to get them to come.
it's the only way. I get it. And
Yeah. And
again,
that's
I
the
get
sad
it.
part.
I think it
Well,
killed the sport. I really do think it killed the sport. Also, I think tires are way too much. I love the people at Maxxis. They've been super nice to me, but there's no reason why a 900 costs $60 when you
yeah,
can buy a car tire for cheaper. I get it.
yeah,
They're in it to make money. I get it. But it was when I was racing box stock. I remember people were like, "Oh, well, Jimmy Sims was pushing this motor. Oh, we need it cheaper. We need it cheaper." And that's why he was pushing this motor because flathead rebuilds were at, crazy money. You couldn't get
Yeah.
parts for them and animals were expensive. So Jimmy Sims was pushing this motor. And my argument was it's not the motor. I can afford $1,000 motor and get some $300 rebuilds. It's the tires. I can't afford the tires. And
yeah.
everybody's tried and you just can't do it. It's just the way it is. My feeling is like I know people complain about either the Reapers or whatever tire. If everyone's on the same crap, you're all racing the same thing. I loved the Vega series in Florida a couple years ago, probably 8 years ago. You had to buy your tires at the track. I didn't have to do crap at home. That was good for me. Everyone complained. Usually the people with money complained. Now the tire thing is crazy again. It's like I think keep it stupid simple. I think I heard you say that last
Yeah.
episode or a couple episodes ago.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
I I wasn't in racing when they tried to WKA tried to ban prep.
Didn't go
I think
well.
I was out of it then. It did not go well. I mean, you got to keep the people happy, and unfortunately, you know, oh, that's my thought though.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
think with any sport, when you start putting money into it, it's like Pandora's box. Once you've opened that, there's definitely no going back. But
yeah, it's like the prep, and then once you figure out that
Oh yeah,
a
yeah,
tire rotation's a thing, now
I couldn't do
everyone
it. I with the tire
everyone's saying,
rotation, I'm done.
yeah,
Couldn't do it.
you got you got 60 sets at home and you bring 20 of them to the racetrack. It's
Or I mean, hell,
and
you can only be competitive with a with a certain tire that sat out for 6 weeks in the uh Gulf South sun for six
As you're
weeks.
pissing on it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
That's
like
an old school friggin' German racing thing, pissing on the motors outside.
talking
Uh-huh.
about, the Reapers were you could bolt a tire on at the racetrack and you would outrun. You could at least run with tires that had been at home.
Not no more.
Date codes are becoming a thing with that. It's just like I think, racers are their own worst enemy.
Yes.
We see that
100%.
in NASCAR a lot. Like they're talking about they're going up to horsepower. I think it was like
They
eight,
good.
800 or something like that. Whatever they want to go
750. We got
750.
we got
It's
200 more
gonna turn
horsepower.
into the same thing. They're gonna
Yeah.
figure it out, and they're gonna go back to the same type of race, and the same type of people are gonna go winning. I
They should
wish
bring it back to stock cars.
yeah,
Bring it back to stock
where you
cars.
could
Like,
actually engineer on a car.
yeah,
So, but going to karting, I wish I had a fix all. I wish we could tune down the money racing, because then it would bring like some fun back into the sport and not go into a race like, oh my gosh, if I don't win this $500 class, or I don't win this $1,000 class, or this $1,500 class,
I'm
I'm
not
not racing.
racing the next 6 weeks.
I'm not racing for another month. I'm not racing for another month
Yeah.
and a half, because
yeah.
either I need to buy more tires or I spend all my money going to that race. Like, I wish we would glorify like
Going back to like the basics.
the fun of the sport instead of the money. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the prestige races. The prestige races deserves cool
For sure.
trophies and money.
100%.
But I think we've glorified the chasing the money and stuff more than we have the basics of the sport.
I mean,
Right.
hell, Billy, you made a great point earlier. That I kind of waited to capitalize on. You came back and raced the box stock class. That's what clone racing started at.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I could tell you all about it.
And
Now
then
it's fifteen hundred
And now
dollars for
look
the
at it.
motor. Yeah,
And that's the
yeah,
thing. It was
now
$100 for a motor, and now what's a new clone? It's
1,500.
1,600.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and so okay, so
So where did we
congratulations.
go? We have another animal or another flathead.
yeah.
Right,
It's
and congratulations. These Predator motors, that was the new box stock. That was
yeah,
$100 a motor. Well, guess
yeah.
what? Now you're punching $700 for a Predator. It's a
Jeez.
glorified lawnmower motor. I
Yeah,
mean,
100%. I know.
What's next?
Oh,
We're gonna be racing weed eater motors.
yeah. I mean, you heard from Matthew about at Hope Sound how we were running. He was racing juniors with alcohol in a big pipe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
That was another thing where it was a constant fight with these people that were kind of in charge, and you're like, what are you doing? Like, because I was racing the box stock in the state series, and then I have to have a different motor to race at my local track 10 miles
yeah.
away. I'm like,
Hmm.
what are you doing? And they're like, well, this is safer. I'm like, methanol's safer because you can see the flame.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It was.
Congratulations.
I
You
really
played
wish
yourself.
people would kind of use common sense and kind of, what's another thing that's killing the sport. I'll segue back in. Tracks do not work together anymore.
Oh,
Oh, we
oh,
are.
Oh
I'm gonna
That
man.
was
say it.
hey,
our
all you gotta
rant
do,
last episode.
just go back and listen to the last episode.
All right, I'm
I
gonna
called
have
every
to.
I called every track out in Louisiana -1 or 2. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
For a good 45 minutes.
yeah,
Um,
crazy.
you
I
know,
remember growing up when there was an FKA race coming up. Every track shut down
yep, that was
because
it.
Yeah.
that was the state race, and like bring all your best guys out there and race. And
And then let me guess, probably
it
two
was
weeks
two
before
days.
that's and then let me
It
guess,
was
probably 2 weeks before that state race. Also, there was no races to where people could go test at that track
yeah,
and gain knowledge.
probably. I don't remember that, but yeah. Um, it's wild, man. It's like no one works together, and I get it. They have bills to pay. They got to feed their families, and I get it. I do, but it's a
But work
problem.
it out at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I know. It's
Get all five, get all your track owners on a Zoom call. Hell, if you need a moderator, Vortex and Fuel, you got it.
yeah,
And just
I
be
know.
like, hey, here's a calendar. Let's not be jackasses.
Yeah, yeah. It's you're never gonna make everyone happy. I've learned that a long time
The
ago.
2%ers, two
And
percent rule.
they're the loudest, and they usually get their way.
Yep.
So it is what it
Unfortunately,
is.
Yeah.
we love racing.
Well,
Racing is love. Racing is life.
Have you guys heard the saying that racing's a drug?
It's the
Or it's
most addic
a party thing?
almost the most
My
addictive legal thing you can do.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to my my buddy Joey Collins, or not Joey Collins, Joey Pierce, who's not with us anymore.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if you guys heard of Joey Pierce, but he was well known in Florida. Raced with him as a kid, had a lot of fun, you know, at the track later in life, and he stopped at my house one day. I remember I got a brand when the Recon came out. I was getting back into racing, and I had it, and he stopped by to see it, and he's like, "Racing is like, you know, you're thinking about going out this weekend, and you're like, oh man, this is gonna be a great time, and then you get friggin' hammered, and then you get a DUI, or you get, you wake up the next day and you're like, shit, I'm never doing that again. And
Bank
then
account's
the next
drained. You
weekend's
feel like
coming
shit.
around. Yep.
Yeah.
Next weekend's coming around. Like, oh man, this sounds good again.
Yeah. I
And
worked all
it's so
weekend, but
true.
yeah,
Yep.
it is.
Just put
well,
all that trauma in the back of your head and forget about it.
Yep. Oh yeah.
well, as we come up to the end of the episode, is there anything that you'd like to thank Mr. Billy?
Say that again.
Is there anyone that you'd like to thank?
Oh, sure. I want to thank God for everything in my life. My wonderful and patient wife, um, and my kids. Uh, my dad, who's not with us anymore, but I thank him every day for. I wouldn't be an electrician if it wasn't for him. Um, my brother, who helped me a lot in racing, and he's pretty damn smart. And we had when he got back into it, I had a lot of good times racing with him. It was good, and going back to that family time,
Mhm.
it was a lot of memories that we're always going to remember. My buddy Tony Sansom, he's not in Florida anymore, and then now he's even farther away from Florida, but I still talk to him quite a bit, and he's I call him my best good friend.
Best good
Um,
friend.
I have so much fun at the track with him. It's like we just act like complete idiots, and it's just the best time.
Yeah.
And his son Austin. I watched Austin grow up, and man, he's a good young adult now. I mean, he's always been a kid for me, but Matthew Beeman, hard worker. He's a badass man. What can you say? He's is fast, and really proud of him. Tom Stallings at SEC Networks. Without Tom, I wouldn't even be on here. Tom is another badass behind the screen, and a lot goes into this. I think he told me at one time it was like tens of thousands of lines of code just to do this.
Dang.
So,
Jeez.
oh yeah, I don't know how he does it, but it's pretty funny trying to explain to a non-racer what I want.
Yeah.
When he's like, "Oh, well, this," and I'm like, "No, you have to do this," and he's like, "No, this," and I'm like, "That's not how it works. You have to do it like this," and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay." So it's been a lot of like back and forth and Zoom calls and
Trial and error, you know.
oh yeah, and um, I'm really happy with the product we came out with though. All the testers that took the time to you know use it, try it, and give me feedback, and I want to thank you guys.
Yeah.
Alex, Ethan, and Colton, you guys welcoming me in and being able to be on here and supporting me has been huge. So
Yeah.
thank you guys.
Thank you for coming on. I've had a blast, and I really like to. I want to see the growth and everything in it. It's something
It's
great,
a
and I hope people take it the way it's meant to be taken.
Me too.
it's a great
I mean, that's
product.
the idea. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Um, and again, I want it to grow. I want it to do what people need. And that's the idea. I mean, let's use it the way we want it. And everyone does things a little different, more than one way to skin a cat. So
Yeah.
send me emails, messages, whatever you need to do. And look out for that coupon code
Yeah.
for exclusive 4TF listeners.
Yeah, we might not even put it in the Facebook post if they want to
All
listen
right.
to it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll think about it. They can see it
All
on
right, cool.
Facebook, not listen to the episode and hear all about it. So we might have to
Oh,
just,
that's true. That's
yeah,
true.
might have to see. If
So,
you listen to it, you got it. Um,
was also thinking, I don't know if it's up for you guys, but maybe we do a couple raffles. I can give away like
yeah,
5 or 10 memberships for people
yeah,
type of deal.
down.
I know I
That'd be,
did that once with Troy Duncan, and it was really cool.
yeah,
So you
that'd
guys
be
think of
awesome.
how to do it. Maybe you do the spinning wheel or whatever.
That'll work.
So
But
Yeah.
Billy, thank you so much for giving our time, wow. Thank you so much for giving us your time. Uh we
Yeah.
really enjoyed tonight, man, and hopefully I'll see you at a racetrack soon if you come
yeah,
with
man.
Matthew and them and we'll catch you then.
Thank you so much, man. It was a blast going down memory lane. It's crazy how fast it goes, but a lot of fun.
For sure, man. Thank you. Take care.
All right, thank you.